Hi. Someone is, I don't know, blowing leaves just outside of my room, so it's a bit strange. But hi, I hope that you are doing very well. Welcome to the library. We live again because it is the end of the heat wave, at least here. It feels nice to be back with some, let's say, mild weather for, quite, I don't know, I think it's like 1 week long, and then we'll get back into like a heat wave again. I think next weekend, not this weekend, but next weekend it will be like 35, 36, 37 degrees again. So let's enjoy things as much as possible. This is really terrible. Hopefully you cannot hear anything, but yeah. The worker is just like, below my window, so it is quite noisy for me, and I have trouble focusing, but okay. So yeah, very nice being able to work again, to do things. I've been productive again. I think it was something that I really missed, because like the last month, basically the entirety of June was really, really hard, and not being able to work, or having to work and being, I don't know, so tired after just a few minutes, it was not sustainable. And I know that I shouldn't be bothered by like productivity and stuff like that much during summer, but it's always slightly like depressing to have like many projects and only making very small strides onto them. But it is what it is. I've been able, like a bit earlier today, to continue some translation. I'm pretty happy, like I've talked about that like last stream, the translation of Tante Galileo by Higashino Keigo-san. Very interesting. Lots of very, very, I don't know, intricate translation choices to be made during this translation. This is pretty simple on average. I think the language is pretty straightforward, but having to, I don't know, whenever he is going for like some colloquial dialogue, it is quite interesting to translate. So I'm getting into the flow. I have like set up my old, let's say, workflow for translating. Really reminds me of when I was translating 10 years ago, like between 7 and 10 years ago, because I did some fan translation back in the days. It was, it was something, because I was younger. I did not have such a command on other languages, be it like English or Japanese. But yeah, nowadays I feel like more confident, and it's good. So the plan for today is to continue and finish the second case of Trials of Innocence. I'll probably just switch to the game immediately, and hopefully you'll be able to see everything. Okay, so I need to put that out. Hi May. Hello, I hope that you are doing all right today. So yeah, last time on Trials of Innocence, we did like the first trial for like the second case, and we assessed that there was some sort of third party at the crime scene because of the presence of the broken sunglasses that shouldn't have been there, considering what we saw in in the surveillance camera footage. So we'll start again from there, I guess. And we are starting the second day of the investigation, and this time we will not be alone. So that will be pretty interesting. I think we did a talk, yes. So let's just move to Lemon Village. So this will probably be quite a long stream, just because I want to finish case 2 today. So I'll try to be like pretty, efficient, and a bit less, I'll try to restrain the yapping is what I'm trying to say. This time we chose to travel by high-speed rail and long-distance bus, so the trip was way shorter, but how could the road be even bumpier? Although I've heard it many times, this village is really remote. It's supposed to be a fancy tour bus, but it feels more like we were riding a tractor and on the mountain road. But the scenery here is really beautiful. What a paradise. Well, take your time to enjoy it. I need to find a place to sit for a while. Well, you were sitting the whole way, weren't you? We need to finish the investigation before sunset. Chat will also try its best. I mean, if you have like things to do in the meantime, if you just want to lurk, it's fine. This is like a game I'm really enjoying doing, so I can like yap and create like an atmosphere even without intense yapping with the chat. But it's appreciated. In that environment, it's more like entering than sitting. Well, Chief, you're only 31, and yet you're not as sturdy as my dad. I should just have brought a wheelchair for you. Well, your dad, is he prosecutor's Ray's father? I remember he used to be a center athlete. Can I be compared to a normal human being? Well, yes, my dad's way of teaching is quite strict. Well, Sis was weak and often ill when she was young, so my dad sent her to learn boxing. Prosecutor Ray, weak and ill. Desk slamming is such a turn on. Well, that's hard to imagine. I heard that when Sis started learning, he really gave her a hard time and made her cry a lot. But under my father's excellent guidance, she was able to knock out boys much taller than her after only 2 years. How scandalous. Well, what a change. Very interesting sprite. I thought about learning it, but my mom stopped me, saying she didn't want both her daughters to end up unmarried. Though I believe marriage is a personal choice and parents shouldn't interfere, your mother still did the right thing. What a very progressive game. But every time I come across a lying witness in court, I can feel the warrior spirit within me burning. By the way, this is... can we check the log? This idea of marrying is obviously in Asia still very prevalent. It's shifting in certain countries, especially Japan, I would say. But in China, there is still the idea of if you are not married by 25, you're basically a leftover woman. And it's changing nowadays because of the same reasons we had in the West, higher education and economical difficulties, meaning that you need more time to start a relationship. So like mentalities are changing or starting to change, at least in the cities, but it's still complicated in certain part of the country, especially the countryside, and this is the case in China, obviously, because that's the point of this game, but that's still the case to some extent, like in Japan, in Southeast Asia. So very interesting, situation here in the game to be like proactively, let's say, progressive. But every time I come across a lying witness in court, I can feel the warrior spirit within me burning, eager to rush up and tear them apart. Well, it's called a family thing, after all. Well, hey, it sounds kind of dangerous. Hey, Chief, the guy over there looks very familiar. Is he approaching? Well, I can feel some creepy vibe coming our way. Ah, the sneaky lawyer. Oh, it's you. You caused great trouble for me today, I'm serious. I got punched by Prosecutor Ray, and to top it off, my whole month's salary was docked because of her report to the bureau. If it continues like this, I'll be broke, I'm serious. Well, what a pity. Still looking so spirited after getting punched by Prosecutor Ray. You are pretty impressive. Well, if I hadn't hidden a steel plate in my chest, I would have been punched through the heart by her, I'm serious. Well, if I win this case, what kind of ordeal is waiting for me? Let's talk to him. About today's trial. Yeah, your performance today was quite impressive, and I must say I'm a bit moved, I'm serious. In such an unfavorable situation, managing to find a loophole is quite an achievement. But in the future, please do not continue to make my life difficult. Well, it's completely unintentional. Well, so yesterday you should just have handed over that black cloth to me right away, otherwise I wouldn't have ended up in this mess. It's not that I do not want to. When I got it, it was already evening and you already left. Seems like I'm not doing my job well. Oh no, suddenly I made him disheartened. Well, it's not true. Both the defense and the prosecution couldn't have proceeded without your assistance. Really? Well, of course. For example, the detailed examination of the new evidence submitted in court today is all thanks to you. This young lady knows how to speak. No worries, I'll make sure to rock this mission. I'm serious. Well done. If I were to say the same thing, I'd probably just get him yelling. By the way, how is the examination result of that black cloth? Well, I was just about to tell you I'm serious. Its examination is all complete, I'm serious. Well, that's great news. Investigation reveals that the cloth is from a cotton jacket. One side has a clean cut, indicating it was made by a sharp object. Okay, that is interesting. I need to... yeah, we have the military dagger, so maybe it was the thing that cut the black cloth. Yeah, we like elements. Yeah. Most surprisingly, the fingerprints of the village doctor Vincent Lemon were found on it. I'm serious. Okay, the village doctor fingerprints. So this jacket turned out to be the doctor's work uniform. Well, not exactly. From color to material, it doesn't look like part of a work uniform at all. It hit a lot of snags when interacting with him yesterday. Seems like today we can't avoid it either. Have you investigated this village doctor? I always work efficiently and never dilly-dally. I'm serious. Knowing that this item came from the village doctor, I immediately applied for a search warrant and rushed to the clinic. And I was kicked out by the village doctor. It's like, is the doctor the culprit in this case or not? So you haven't even entered the door. Well, that village doctor is not that easy to deal with, I'm serious. Cannot handle him, which isn't surprising. You've already got a search warrant, so it should be fine for us to go there, right? As long as you have the ability to get in. Okay, interesting. Alright, let's not just stand at the village gate, hurry in and take a look. Okay. Sightseeing mode, a building with a large cross sign, that must be the clinic, right? Okay, let's go to the clinic. So this is the rule like of the village here. We shouldn't like bother with that too much. The village clinic should be around here. Such a big square and not a single person. I feel like shouting out loud. Well, this is afternoon now. Maybe the villagers are busy with preparations for the curfew. Well, a murder happened recently, but the village still remains so peaceful. Indeed, it's still hard to imagine that a village like this harbors a murderer. A chief, look over here, an old man. Oh, so this is the elder? Yeah, you're the elder. Hello, sir. Do you know how to get to the clinic? Oh, it's nice to meet you, lady. You're dazzling my old eyes. Where do you come from? Well, excuse me, I'm Charlie Drake, a defense lawyer, and this is my assistant, Luna Ray. Nice to meet you. A lawyer, good. Good. A lovely lady and a sloppy young man. The first time I've seen lawyers like you after living for 7 decades. To be fair, if you look like this, like at 70, like you don't look 70 years old. You look probably like, 80 or even like a bit more. It has been over 10 years since someone called me a young man. Oh, you must be the lawyers for that Mr. Collifield, right? Huh, you know about us. Well, indeed, I've heard quite a bit from my granddaughter. Oh, so you're Annie's grandfather. This is not translated, by the way. It's like, this is like village, and I don't know what this character is. Indeed, I'm the chief, I guess it's just chief, right? I'm the village chief. I'm feeling a bit better today, so I went out for a walk. As a village chief, I apologize for not being able to give you a proper welcome. No, please don't say that. We should apologize for not visiting you first. The village chief's health is worse than I imagined. Being so weak, he couldn't possibly be the culprit. I mean, we are still, under the expectation that it is a murder, but it's not it's not completely like, I don't know. We have a few questions. Would you mind answering them? Feel free to ask. Okay, let's talk. We still don't know your name. May I ask how we should address you? Well, names or external things not worth mentioning. Call me whatever you like. Well, the first time I've heard someone called a name an external thing. What a mysterious old man. Well, sir, has your health always been like this? Of course not. In my younger years, I was quite the pro at growing lemon trees, Perhaps my past carefree living led to this. Lately, my limbs betray me and I cannot even move saplings on my own. Well, you could have really relied on horses for that, couldn't you? But I still don't want to admit I'm old. The weather is nice today, so I come out for a walk to stretch my bones. I think your complexion is better than this young man next to me. A roller coaster for quite a while on the way. Well, thank you, young lady. It seems that this young man doesn't exercise much. You should learn from her. To stay at the office, pile up snacks and watch drama without going out for 3 days straight. Well, by the way, sir, can we ask you something about the villagers? Well, lots of discussion here. I had a few conversations with Annie. She often mentioned you. Yeah, Annie is a good kid. It's she who has taken care of me in the recent years. The poor kid lost her parents from a young age and has to take care of me. She hasn't had the chance to step up off this mountain and see the outside world. I haven't fulfilled my duties and have instead become a burden. I truly feel guilty about that. But please don't say that. Well, Annie is still young. She has plenty of opportunities to explore the world after the case is closed. If she's willing, we can take her out after we wrap up the case. Well, good. Thank you both in advance. Thank you. Yeah, interesting. Better not insist too much. Could you please tell us something about Dr. Vincent? He seems quite respectable in the village. He definitely is. His village vitality totally relies on him. Do all the villagers trust him? Yes, certainly, he's the pride of our village. We have a world-famous doctor in this mountainous area. You know how difficult it is? World-famous, yeah. We know that, like, he went to Heinz University or, like, hospital, whatever. I feel like this kid ain't making out of the village. That sounded like such a death flag sort of thing to say. I mean, either that or it's a death flag for the chief, maybe. I don't know. Like, it's true that like the girl is in like a weird situation right now, like in the economy, in the narrative economy of the game, because like she's just here, but she's neither like a witness, neither like you know, she's not the defendant. You would expect her to be the defendant. So like, is she, you know, is it a situation where she is like the culprit? Or I don't know. That kid is great in every way, just a bit stubborn. In what way? He keeps going on to those dangerous places to collect herbs, not caring about falling. I try to warn him, but he won't listen. Once he decides on something, he must see it through. I mean, what's the point of all this hassle? Yeah, we saw him yesterday. More dedicated than I thought. An altar. Altar, that child, he is just an otaku. It's not that I don't like him, it's just that I'm getting old. And how should I put it? As I age, I found I know less and less about the boy. He always messes around with useless things in the village. Although they may seem useless, I remember he set up a camera outside the village and it caught a thief. Oh, that box thing swooshed and trapped the thief inside. I was quite shocked when I saw that. Okay, interesting. Well, that's all I need to know. A lot of trouble for the village. Well, indeed, it's all because of that foreigner. Our village has been in panic these past 2 days. I don't know when this trouble will come to an end. Do you have any opinions on the case? Well, to be honest, people in our village don't usually go out, let alone get involved with that foreigner. The impression of like the guy who imitates wolf howls. He is a bit reckless. But you really think he could commit murder? I don't believe it. If that's the case, it means that there is no one to suspect, doesn't it? I may not understand your case, but I'm somewhat confident in judging people. Could, like a mistake, what if that foreigner accidentally fell off by himself? To be fair, it's possible. It is still possible, I believe. You could argue also that there might be like a situation like we saw like in day one, like maybe everybody is trying to cover for someone. If that were the case, it would be a happy outcome. I mean, you know. With the dagger left at the scene, various phrases and the note inviting someone to come out, the possibility of this case being an accident is quite low based on the pieces of evidence. It can still be an accident. You know, it's like, okay, maybe like they went on the crime scene, on the scene, but like you can just fall. It doesn't have to be a murder, but we'll see. Your words are very valuable. I don't know. It might be an accident, but like the cloth has been cut by a knife or something sharp. So yeah, I don't know. By the way, do you know how to get to the clinic? I mean, it's just there. We just want to ask the village doctor some questions. Well, I won't dig any deeper into girl stuff. What the? The clinic is over there, the white building with an X. The path on, well, the cross. The path on the right is closer. Thank you, sir. Well, let's hurry up there. Okay, let's move into the clinic. Why do we have like beers in here? The village clinic should be around here. It doesn't look like a typical mountain clinic at all. It's so clean. This microscope looks quite advanced. There is some machines covered with cloth in the back. They must be operating tables or something. Several million yuan, I guess. So like probably, you know, closer to I don't know, like tens of thousands of dollar, euro, whatever. This village doctor is quite something. I really don't like the smell of medicine. Let's get things done quickly. A faint smell of alcohol. So this is the beer, right? Various medicine and so on. To provide the best treatment for the villagers, this level of equipment is necessary. Don't make a face like you have seen a ghost. First of all, I kind of want to check things. Okay, well. Heard that both of you performed well in today's trial, quite commendable. It's really just a narrow escape. How did you know about our performance? Did you attend the trial as well? The detective informed me just now. Your purpose for coming here, I presume, is the same as his. However, entering without permission is even more rude than he is. Well, we saw the door was unlocked, so we just walked in. Well, I mean, this place is meant to save lives, and the doors are never locked except during curfew. If you have nothing urgent, please leave now. Is there something in this clinic that shouldn't be seen? Oh, you think too much. Although the clinic is small, I keep some various samples here for research purposes. I was just trying to look out for you, worried that you might accidentally set them off and end up exploding. For virus? There's no virus that can make people explode. Well, it's just a joke. If you have any suspicion about me, feel free to investigate here. I don't suspect you, I just want to ask you a few more questions. However, I won't provide any information different from what I shared yesterday. He's kind enough. I think so, like, he's very affable. The magical boy, it seems like I've heard about that somewhere. What is this? You're so out of touch. It's the most popular anime now. So, like, the doctor is also a weeb. He is an otaku as well. I don't watch it, but I often hear about it. Does Dr. Vincent also... Oh no, that's artist stuff. I have no interest in it. If this village doctor is actually an otaku, I won't believe in the world anymore. Those elder lemon often come here. Not really. Alter stays at home all day doing nothing. And for this reason, the elders in the village often criticize him. He comes here to escape from that. Over time, my computer accumulated quite a lot of his stuff. Yeah, interesting. Is it common for you and Alter to gather herbs together? Whenever there's a chance, he stays indoors all year round and lacks exercise. Occasional hikes would be good for his health. Did you also ask Alter Lemon to go herb gathering for you on the morning you found the victim? I explained it in detail. Yeah, okay. Asking about the cloth with his fingerprints, probably not a good choice for now. Probably not. As the village chief said, you often go to the most dangerous cliff areas to gather herbs. Is that true? Well, have you already visited the village chief? Well, we happened to meet him earlier and had a chat. How is his health? Well, pretty good. Is he recovering soon? Well, it's just superficial. I don't think he'll recover. Is it a situation where he'll die, like, you know, in a few, like, months? The village chief is quite energetic. Don't casually say such things. Well, I've been in the medicine for many years and I don't casually talk about patients' conditions. The village chief has severe lung disease and given his age, he cannot endure extreme treatments. I can only use the best herbs to extend his life, hoping that he can enjoy his later years in peace. Okay, so it's not that, like, you know, critical. It's so sad. I mean, it's life. I'm not afraid of dangerous cliffs. I venture out early in the morning to collect the dew-soaked herbs for the for their utmost potency. Part of the reason is also for the village chief. Despite his opposition, I will not stop. Quite a moving statement. You seem like a very good guy, at least very concerned with the interest of the village. From what I know, the collection time for the herb is very specific, right? Correct, some herbs need to be collected at night, but due to the curfew, I cannot obtain them. So have you ever thought of making an exception and going out at night? For example, on the night before yesterday. If my soul is drained by the night demon, how can I continue treating the villagers? Or do you really believe that there's such a creature in the valley? The curfew is an iron law that has lasted for thousands of years. Even the chief cannot violate it. This topic ends here. He looks like he doesn't believe in the creature, but he understands the social binding of the law and like the merit in that law. If just like maybe, you know, for the overall safety of the villagers. It doesn't work, yeah. Questioning won't solve the problem, I'll have to look for useful things in here. Would you mind if we conducted a quick investigation in the clinic? But don't casually operate medical equipment. When touching medicines, remember to wear gloves. I have other matters to attend to, and I can't detain you further. Okay, so we have like several things like that are interesting in here. He probably thinks we won't find anything valuable through a search. Okay, let's investigate. The beers, obviously. Some kind of medicine. Glass bottle filled with yellow-green liquid and there's foam on top. Beer! How could something like this be in the clinic? Hippocratic corpus that beer has medicinal effects, so Dr. Vincent uses it as medicine. Like the smell of the alcohol when I entered this from here. There's a few empty bottles, probably recently finished. Only 3 empty bottles. Alcohol craving. Charlie is an addict. I mean, I'm kind like of expecting Vincent to have lied about like not liking anime. It's like you really like this is what is like the age of. Okay, you're 21, but like I wouldn't expect Alta to come here and just drink a beer in here, like on his own. That has to be Vincent's. But you don't drink beer like for fun like this. Probably he is watching like the anime, like alone or with Alta. The table isn't anything special, but the tablecloth really catches the eye. The Starry Night, I didn't expect Dr. Vincent to have some taste. Well, this is well known, right? Maybe to doctors this kind of artworks hit the soul harder and interprets the meaning of life. Art is not my thing, but, well, I can't understand what she's saying. Very interesting, because, like, if you are a scholar in the Western world, you're basically a scholar of European history, European culture. But there is this funny thing where if you want to be a scholar, like a genuine modern scholar in China nowadays, you need to like know as much Western culture as Chinese culture. I think it's Ken Liu that like talked about that like in his translation of The Free Body Problem, that yeah, nowadays, Chinese readers, they need to be familiar with Western culture because it's such a part of what is used in writing and fiction and stuff. But on the flip side, you have like a lot of like Western people that are not exploring like outside of their culture or like the American culture. So it's pretty interesting. The material is pretty solid. Quantify as a tablecloth, pinned down with tacks. Interesting. Feels like it's urging us to lift and see. I'm lifting. If it breaks, I'm not gonna pay for it. It's just all black. Okay, this is really like why is it like an evidence? It will probably be useful later, but wait, no, the black cloth. Because we obviously have like the black cloth from the crime scene, but those are not related, right? The window is square shaped, facing the village square with a good lighting. Very good feng shui. You think the night demon is a husky or something? Look at the size of this window. A person of a regular size should be able to squeeze in and out. Okay. Computer is pretty new. It's not just decent, it's like top notch. A village doctor's computer is even better than ours at the office. The doctor is really an otaku, probably. Upgrade the hardware. Call of Dust. I'm not in the mood for entertainment. No, he is like very much into like, you know, modern otaku culture. Just a regular wall clock, nothing special. It might have been in use for many years. It really lives up to the clinic standards. How clean it is. I was just covered in dust. If you saw it, why not give it a wipe? I'll take a closer look. Shining clean, almost too clean, like it was wiped just yesterday. If it's not a coincidence, this clock must have been touched recently. Is it to cover up some traces? What do you mean? Like, can it be like a situation where the clock, the time has been changed for some reason to like trick people into thinking that it was not curfew, something like that? I don't know. Better note it. On the clock face, desho? Notice on any area of the clock face. Interesting. Okay, we have some most useful things. Let's get ready to go. Goodbye. Well, sorry for the interruption. Where should we go? I mean, let's just go back to the square for now, desho? Finally out. After spelling medicine for so long, my nose is kind of itchy. So where should we go next? Not much point in going back to the crime scene. I don't have any other ideas. We can visit Alter Lemon. I guess we can go there. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, this is cringe. Can you see all the saber, you know, adjacent thingy in here? I'm surprised that they were able to like really like put a switch in here, like with the design of the switch. Yeah, this is like Fate. They are like very, I think, straightforward with their reference. Yeah, like they are not even trying to go for like some fake anime. This is like just like pure anime. Is this like Attack on Titan here? I'm not exactly sure. But yeah, this I can't. I guess it's still like Fate. But yeah, the scene is too shocking. I can't find words to describe it. But yeah, Hatsune Miku. Could we have walked in a different dimension or something? You have two Switches. You have two consoles. Literally one like portable and the other is just docked for your computer. Are you crazy? What's going on? The lawyer and his little assistant. I heard you guys came to the village and I was just about to find you. Find us? Also, I'm a lawyer too, not just some little assistant. He's doing a JoJo pose. He is trying to aura farm, but like, can you really aura farm as an otaku? I got a bit too excited there. This is really an exciting thing. Because he is seeing like a woman. What are you talking about? This. I'm aura farming. +2. Why are you pulling out a weapon and pointing it at us? Got scared, huh? This is a masterpiece born from diving into loads of detective games and tons of mystery anime. I can actually pierce the darkness called hypocrisy in human hearts, shatter all lies, clear the fog of the case, and ultimately lead to the sacred truth. The name is Verity Lens Longinus. Yeah. Hey bro, you're a lawyer. Show some respect, okay? Well, chief, this guy is completely hopeless. Okay, this is cringe. This is very cringe. Otaku should not be trusted. I'm starting to feel the same. I really feel sorry for his parents. That's why he has been spanked as a boy. How about we just leave? I don't think questioning him will get us anywhere. Yeah, let's investigate elsewhere. Hey, hold on. Hey, this development is all wrong. Just listen for me for a moment. Listen to what? To your tragic tale of going full otaku and finally losing your mind? No, of course not. This Verity Lens is not some cosplay knockoff. It's a real lie detecting machine. Lie detecting machine? Oh, so this is like the Magatama thingy. Alright, let's hear what he has to say. This Verity Lens is the ultimate equipment I crafted after combining several medical devices. Mental state of the subject through indicators like respiratory rate, blood volume, and pulse. When holding it, if the subject tells a lie or deliberately hides the truth, they will be exposed immediately. A lie detector. This thing is way more high-tech than a lie detector. I specially crafted a gauge that can instantly reflect the subject's resistance level to confessing the truth. So this is like, yeah, the trinket like of this game, I guess. You got it. In case you encounter someone who triggers it, just show them this holy lens and its dual time. And then stab them with it? Absolutely not. It's too much. These fantasy features take up too much space, so I couldn't make it look like a cool Magatama. Okay, so this is the Ace Attorney reference. Magatama. What exactly is that? When the situation calls for it, you'll figure out how to use it. Is Phoenix Wright canon in this universe? Like, is it a game that exists in this universe? The reason I sought you guys is precisely to give it to you. Yeah, and after all, I'm an otaku living a simple life in this village, and hardly anyone here tells lies. But you are different. Lawyers deal with all sorts of wicked, cunning, and evil people every day, right? Potentially, if there is fate, and so on. Yeah, it's true. You're talking about prison guards, aren't you? If you guys take it, I can get some test data for photo upgrades. Fan of detective games. Okay, so he was inspired by like Ace Attorney. Giving it to a true lawyer and showcase its true power is the biggest wish of my life. It is undoubtedly the greatest desire of the Verity Land, so please, please accept it. I mean, he means well after all. I will borrow it for a while. Bro, you are the best. Also, this is very similar to Umineko, by the way. It's the lens of like the judge in Umineko. The shape fits into the backpack. In the worst case, we can toss it into the office junk bin. What secrets are you guys talking about? Don't worry about it. By the way, can we ask you some questions about the case? Quite a bit of trouble in court today. Indeed, your video recording nearly got us killed. I'm sorry, although I played a lot of trial games, it's my first time actually appearing in court. Being a witness isn't as easy as I thought. Well, you don't have to blame yourself like that. I had prepared amazing lines and impressive entrance, but they were all scared away by that prosecutor. So this is why you're feeling down. As for the night camera at the village entrance, did you install it by yourself? Yes, although the gears were all brought in by my dad from outside, no one else here can install them. Do you have villagers here specifically assigned to transport goods from the outside? Yep, my dad is in charge of trade in the village, selling our fresh lemon tea every year. So your dad is still here, it's just that not shown yet or ever. And for essentials in the village. I couldn't have got all these rare treasures. Super otaku decorations in the room. Bro, you didn't get it. These things are not just for show. Many of them are practical. Practical. Like, what is practical? We're having like a swimsuit saber. Since you're claiming to be a real otaku, this room must be your headquarters, right? Well, of course, you could turn me into a plant and plant me in this room. Well, okay, let's ask. Way too modern compared to the other houses in your village. It is years of my dedication, not just the items you see, but almost all the modern devices in the village is eventually connected to my room. Network issues, voltage instability, or any mechanical problems can be controlled by me with just a few clicks. Well, that's so cool. Really? I thought you city folks were used to this kind of thing. I mean, it's true that, like, you know, people... I think in the city, we are more dependent on, like, external, you know, actors. We do less things by ourselves because, like, we can rely on, you know, other people to do the work for us. But compared to other houses in the village, my room isn't the most modern one. I mean, is he talking about like the hospital or the clinic? Dr. Vincent's clinic. Our village is small and there is no need for a separate hospital, so he turned his home into a clinic. After he came back from abroad, he bought a bunch of fancy medical equipment. The high-tech level of those gadgets can totally outlast mine by a long way. Why invest in specialized medical equipment that is rarely used even in a hospital? Is he trying to, like, I don't know, do things about immortality or something like that? He was talking like Vincent about like saving the elder. So maybe he's searching, you know, for like immortality potion or whatever. And the screen is bigger than mine. It was such a blast watching anime on it the night before last. The night before last. You were watching anime in like... So you were with Vincent the entire night. About that... That's the night of the incident, isn't it? So you weren't in your room that night. Interesting. You went to the clinic. Maybe I did, maybe not. Did you get sick that day? You look a bit down, but your complexion seems okay. Not a big deal. It can't be that big of a deal if you tell us, right? You know, I just wanted to watch anime with him, that's all. Something is vibrating in my backpack. Oh, he's lying, okay. So that's the tutorial for the Verity lens. Okay. Could he actually create a powerful lie detector? Oh, I need to... This is like... Literally, he made like a weeb dub for the Verity lens. It's reacting. It does really work. Oh, that's Annie's voice. Yeah, she recorded the lines, but the content was completely incomprehensible. She helped me mimic some lines from popular anime, and she learned pretty quickly. Teaching weeb Japanese to like a kid. It seemed that the first person to be tested by the Verity lens might be you. Okay. An obvious lie. How could someone like Vincent Lemon possibly watch anime with this guy? I mean, we don't know. Luckily, this otaku's personality is quite straightforward. If I present the facts, maybe he will confess. If I keep messing up in the conversation or take too long, the subject might start losing their patience. So again, like a time mechanic. Alright, analysis stops here. Let's get ready to roll. You claimed you went to the clinic to watch anime that night. That's a lie, isn't it? Is it? How did you know? Your shifty eyes and anxious look, and also the continuously buzzing Verity lens. You made it yourself, didn't you? You couldn't have gone to the clinic to watch anime because... You just stayed up late all night. The clinic doesn't have a computer. Vincent Lemon doesn't like watching anime. I mean, we don't know. But it's probably like the most accurate answer, right? The two of them are just like, this is just weak, it doesn't serve any purpose, and this is just false, so I guess we need to go for the middle one. I just heard from the two of Vincent that he is not interested in things like anime. It doesn't make sense for someone who doesn't like anime to stay up all night watching it with you. I just wanted to promote our otaku culture. We live so close and he often takes care of me, so it's normal that I would want to preach about my love, isn't it? He wants to preach like it's a religion. What kind of cult it is? I mean, the otaku culture? Maybe you're right, but that doesn't alone explain why you went all the way there. There must be another reason for you to go to the clinic, right? I don't have much evidence. This is what attracts you in the clinic, right? Oh. Okay, alcohol. Conchega. In such a remote village, it should be quite difficult to get beer, right? I can understand the occasional desire of young people to have a drink. So your main purpose to the clinic was to drink. Oh, you're betraying your creator. But this is what God feels when being abandoned by humans. I can't stay here anymore. Okay, I'll be honest. I did go to the clinic to drink. My dad is very strict about my drinking, so I can only go there to drink once in a while. Please do not let my dad know. I can't believe that I would fall because of my creation. He was serious about the lie detector. It really surprises me that you could create something so amazing. Well, you're exaggerating too much. He seems to be highly specialized, and because there are no others to compare, he probably has no idea of his abilities. So after drinking at the clinic, did you stay there? Yeah, when I became sober it was already curfew time, so I watched anime with Dr. Vincent at the clinic. We went to sleep after watching the entire series of Magical Sago. When I woke up again, it was the next morning, and then we went to collect herbs. As for what happened later, I already explained it on court. But your room is very close to the clinic, couldn't you just walk back home? Well, the curfew cannot be violated. Once it's past 6, no one can go outside, even if you live next door. Verity Lens doesn't react. Yeah, he's not lying. Well, how much did you drink? I didn't see many empty bottles in the clinic, so you must not be so good at drinking. Well, my dad doesn't allow me to drink, so I didn't get chances to build up my tolerance. And I stayed up late playing games the night before, so I got drunk quickly. If you're drunk with like 1 beer and a half, this is kind of crazy. You really don't value your own life. And I ended up spilling alcohol on my clothes. Look, that's the shirt. I have to wash it later. The clothes he wore on the day of the incident. Huh. Gonna borrow that shirt for a while. I mean, I don't think collecting dirty clothes is a good hobby, you know? No, I just think it might be helpful for the case. Well, take it if you think it will be useful. I get tipsy with one dream sometime. It's weird. I guess like I mean, there are genetics at play here, right? Like depending on like the enzyme that you have like in your body, like that's why like, you know, Asian people, they can't drink as much as other, you know, people in general on average. I know some people that get drunk like very, very easily just with like 1 glass of wine or like 1 beer. But yeah, this is like, but there's also like a difference between like tipsy and drunk, right? So, black shirt, they show it might be interesting. On the collar and the right cuff. But this is not like this is not the shirt. This is not the black clothes that we saw, right? Oh, Detective Spark, why are you here too? I've been gotten ahead. No, I can't report to Prosecutor Ray, I'm serious. What are you holding? Show it to me, I'm serious. I'll take it, it's better than nothing. Bye. Bro just stole the evidence, like this. So is this like the thing to like... No, I don't know. Because it's still like in our thingy. Chief, what are you doing? Hurry, go after him. He took our evidence. I mean, how can I possibly catch up with Detective Spark? Forget it. Let's just hope that it's not something useful. It is, probably. You don't exercise regularly. When we get back, I'll ask Sis to teach you boxing personally. Well, let's hurry up and go to the next place. Okay, I guess we can just move. Even I am exhausted. This is not the end of the investigation, right? We don't have like anything to work with. Should we head back to this detention center? It can't be the end, they sure? The little girl, the one who makes great lemon tea. Annie. Is the beautiful lady also a lawyer? Yes, we are from the same law office. I'm Luna Ray. Hello, sis Luna. Jie. Luna Jie. You two must be tired coming here. Let me serve you some tea. Thank you. The tea tastes really good. May I have another cup, please? Of course, you're very welcome. There are 70 other types of lemon tea here. Would you like to try some others? Yeah, 1 of each, please. Like, the problem I have with like drinking tea, because I love tasting, you know, different sorts of tea, doing like tea, you know, tasting afternoons or whatever with friends. The problem is that, oh my god, tea makes me, you know, everyone want to go like to the toilet so much. And I keep, when I'm in those like sort of like parties or testing like sessions, I keep going like to the toilet, and this is not the best. I wish I could like drink tea and not have to go that much to the bathroom because it's a diuretic, but... Okay, let's talk to her. Have you heard about today's trial? The prosecutor just visited and mentioned a few things. Prosecutor Ray came. What did she say? She seemed very angry and kept saying things like, "I'll definitely punch that sloppy lawyer into a wall," and "useless police are only fit to be punching bags." Thank you for the hydration. Check. It's better that you don't understand. If I really win this case, can I walk out of the court alive? Why did she specifically come to visit Annie? We just met your grandpa, he seemed well. I heard that Annie has been taking care of him at home. What a good kid. You're praising me too far, Luna Xiatie. This is nothing really. I was raised by grandpa, so no, I can... So no, taking care of him is my responsibility. According to Dr. Vincent, the chief's illness is incurable. When that day comes, I wonder what will happen to Annie. Would she come like, is she our assistant later? Reality is a bit cruel for such a child. Just thinking about it makes me sad. Are you okay? You don't look so well. Maybe I should call Dr. Vincent and prescribe some nepenthe for you. Take care of yourselves. It's so late. I need to help Grandpa with the chores. I'm sorry, I need to make medicine for Grandpa, though I also want to talk more with you. No worries, things concerning your Grandpa is more important. Then I will go back now. Take care on your way. She will testify, okay. She will testify, but she's already gone far. What should we do, Chief? Sis wants Annie to testify. Maybe she got some critical information from her. Annie has anything to do with this case. That's my problem. Like, I don't understand in a narrative standpoint where she's fitting in. We should hurry and catch up to ask. She must have already instructed Annie to keep silent. Even if we catch up to her, we can't interrogate her in front of so many villagers. So what's your plan? We don't have much time now. Detention center. I still want to explore more. The detention center? Being excited about Lemon Village is acceptable, but why are you also excited about going to a detention center? Well, if it's an interesting place, I'll get excited. I'll make sure to take a photo with a prison guard. She's crazy. She's a bit crazy. The aura. Good afternoon, boss. Don't startle me like this. Sorry, I've been here too long and seeing the living gets me excited. Uniforms are cool. Oh, you are like a uniform type of girl. I mean... Now, if I speak, big trouble. Because I kind of see the vision. You should know that tomorrow's trial will likely bring a verdict to this case. We still have some questions for you and we hope you can be completely honest with us. It's wrong to touch the wound of an injured lone wolf. But since it's you, boss, I'll come clean and tell you everything I know. Well, I'll ask you some questions. Nothing. Just checking, aren't you supposed to be in school these days? How come you have time for a trip? You've been out of school for too long. It's summer vacation now. Exactly, August is the happy time for our generation. Well, happy for him, but you've already been graduated for a while. Then why did you choose to travel to a place like Lemon Village? It's not a popular tourist spot as far as I know. I wouldn't go to those crowded tourist spots. Too many people. What's the fun of it? He is so right though. Lemon Village not only boasts beautiful scenery and simple folk customs, but most importantly, it is rarely visited. In popular spots, how can you enjoy things like occupying an observation deck to admire the moon alone? And while that makes sense, well, please recall your actions on the day of the incident carefully. After dinner on the day of the incident, Annie told me about this foreigner. He talked non-stop with the village chief, clearly here to scam. But Annie didn't understand what they were talking about at all. Don't you think your conclusion is a bit too hasty? Well, just look at his expression and outfit. He is definitely not a good guy. Well, anyway, I gave him a good beating. You just... Well, yeah, no, we had information. That's like the trace of like the... Right, the shoe print, like on the back. Only you would attack someone for that reason. He is actually a weak little chihuahua. One kick and down. Anyway, after giving him a beating, I was in a better mood and directly went back to sleep. So it's like, oh yeah, I have insomnia, I just need to beat people up. And then like, yeah, I'm tired, this was good exercise. Were you always sleeping until you went out to admire the moon? Yes, to conserve my energy, I rested until 1:15. Okay. And then I went out just as planned to see the supermoon. The night view was especially beautiful, so I strolled leisurely, savoring the scenery, and arrived at the cliff about 2 in the morning. After singing loudly to the moon, I returned to the village. I should have gone to sleep around 2:30. If you hadn't beaten the victim, this would sound perfect. Are you praising me? Well, the timing of your outing and the incident overlap significantly. Did you notice anything unusual? Could be no sign at all, right? Because I was wholeheartedly enjoying the moon, I didn't pay much attention to the surroundings. But about something unusual, I did hear sounds coming from the nearby bushes while admiring the moon on the cliff. It felt like something was there. But it was in the mountains, so I guess it was probably a lost hare, trembling in fear because of a wolf nearby. Huh. What about the riverbank? Did you see the body? The riverbank. I did look down, but the moonlight was blocked by plants and I couldn't see anything. I really hate my incompetence. If I was a real wolf... That's the ability of a feline creature. Well, it looks like our time is running out and we've learned about your situation. Is there anything else you want to say? I trust you. I want to confirm it again before tomorrow's trial. You really didn't kill him, did you? As I said before, I really just gave him a beating. That's all. I mean, we should trust him probably. And now you're the person I trust the most. I will never lie to you again, boss. That's good. I trust you too. So this is like... This is it? This is the investigation? We learned basically nothing. So like the prosecution will do most of the work, I guess. We're playing very defensively on the second day of trial. Let's make good use of the remaining time and try to get back to the office before it gets dark. I'm doomed, I'm serious, I'm definitely going to get punched into the wall, I'm serious. The sad music is like, kind of like, you know, funny. Oh, it's you guys. Have you ever seen someone passing here just now? I don't know anyone else would come. Then the report on this evidence. Oh, the evidence has been stolen? Like the report on like the black cloth has been stolen? None of your business. The reaction of the Verity lens. Okay. Important clue related to the case. What's going on? It's really hard to get used to this weird voice effect of Annie. Detective Spark, is the evidence report you mentioned really unrelated to us? Well, of course it is. His shifting eyes and trembling voice already show that he's lying to us. Although I can guess what he is hiding, he is, after all, a detective. At this moment, he's on the prosecutor's side, which is our opposite side. Even if I expose his lies and reveal the truth, it might not make him willingly tell us the information. Now it's time for me to use my power, my lawyer persuasion techniques to break through his defenses. I hope this French device is as effective as the otaku said. Here it goes. The evidence report you have must be related to the Lemon Village case, right? It's not. It is information from another case, I'm serious. Well, this case is completely changed by you, and now it's at the most crucial period. You shouldn't have this spare energy to take on other cases, right? You're wrong, I have plenty of energy. I can handle all the cases in this area. I'm serious. Well, are you capable of bilocation or something? Detective Spark, lying is wrong, and you can't possibly have other cases at hand because you were assigned to this area yesterday. That's what we learned on day 1. You were just assigned to this area yesterday. How could you get other cases? How careless of me, I'm serious. As for the content of the report, I have some ideas. Earlier, you sneakily took away some evidence from the village. This investigation report is about this evidence, the black shirt. The black shirt in Alta Lemon's home was taken by you before we had a chance to investigate. You mentioned in court that you were a military doctor. The reason you took this unseemingly unrelated item, could it be that you found something suspicious on it? What are you mumbling about? I remember Alta said, the measurement on Verity lens representing the subject's recent level is telling me the truth. This guy is hiding the report from us for other reason. Just stay in the detention center and waste your time. I won't buy your words anymore. I won't answer any more of your question. Goodbye. I'm serious. His patient is running out so fast. I need to rush to the prosecutorate ASAP. I'm serious. Well, he's quite impatient now. I need to break his defense. Did you just say that you're rushing to the procuratorate instead of returning to the police station? Well, it's none of your business. My principle is to be meticulous in handling cases and not to have any omissions in the reports. Well, if you don't hurry to the procuratorate, it would go against your principle. Actually, you must be looking for this person at the prosecutorate. Stella Ray, I guess. Just seeing the photo makes me shudder. I'm serious. Let me guess, you found evidence critical to the case but haven't had a chance to hand it over to Prosecutor Ray, right? Are you a mind reader? I can't read minds, but your expression already gives you away. If I can't hand it over her before tonight, I'm doomed. Speaking of this evidence, I won't talk to you about this evidence. Just because of that black cloth evidence yesterday, I was punched like a sandbag for a whole half hour. I'm serious. That sounds really tough. So the coroner report has absolutely nothing to do with you. Absolutely nothing. I'm serious. So the only one he fears is Prosecutor Ray. I need to find a breakthrough from this. Detective Spark, this matter is deeply deeply connected to us because... Oh, he just left. I need to... It's way faster than I expected. Like, you really need to send it like immediately. I see. Yeah, I need to check like the timer. Yeah. Okay, we know that it's Stella Ray. I mean, we are the lawyers of this case, right? But we're also working hard for our client. Oh wait, so we are familiar with her, right? She's so familiar with you that she wishes she could punch you into the wall. We send Luna to like handle like the conversation. I couldn't even join your conversation just now. Okay, we are tricking him into like telling us things because she's also a Ray. Well, she's my sister, so isn't it normal to look alike? What? She has a sister? This girl was specifically entrusted to my law office by Prosecutor Ray. What are you talking about, Chief? Just be quiet and listen. Prosecutor Ray dotes on her little sister so much that in order to broaden her horizons and help her grow, she specifically assigned her to intern with me, her so-called opponent. How touching is that dedication? So if Luna completes her internship and reports to Prosecutor Ray mentioning the loud-voiced detective never cooperates, not only does he not provide me evidence, but he also speaks impolitely and makes things difficult for me in every way. I wonder how Prosecutor Ray would react. Stop, I'm serious. I'll tell you everything, I'm serious. We're just like blackmailing him. It's crazy. The doted little sister. Nah, I have no solid evidence but only vague assumptions. It's hard to believe that the invention of that otaku is actually quite useful. So Detective Spark, about that evidence report you mentioned. At this time I don't think I can hand it over to Prosecutor Ray on time. Actually I did find something very strange, I'm serious. Is this black shirt worn by the villager named Arthur Lemon? Yes, you can still smell beer on the shirt's cuffs. If only if just beer. My lady, what are you talking? Come and take a look at the sleeves of this shirt. I think you can just call me Luna. Paint? No, this is a residue left by some kind of medication. To be precise, it's hypnotics, I'm serious. So like the beers were laced with hypnotics. I smelled a faint medication odor, so I specifically sent it to the clinical lab for analysis. This medication is not rare in the city, but in this remote village, the availability is very limited. Hi, have fun. Thank you. I hope that you are doing alright, Memory. I have like ideas about this case, but we are still waiting, I guess, for the trial to begin so we can really have more information to work with. Although Prosecutor Ray didn't order an investigation of Arthur Lemon's room, I still felt uneasy and wanted to report it to her. The room of that otaku doesn't have any direct connection to the case, so it's normal to not investigate. You're working, you're on break, okay, I see. Enjoy your break. And hopefully, like, it's not too hot where you are. But I didn't expect Detective Spark to be such a conscientious person. Please do not make fun of me. Right now my life is really at stake, I'm serious. What's the dosage of the hypnotics? The residue is mixed with beer, so right now I can only estimate the concentration of the medication, I'm serious. Consuming this concentration of the drug and sleeping for a day and night wouldn't be surprising. Wait. A day and night? There are multiple ideas that I have in my mind. It's like, what does he mean by day and night? Can you drug someone so they sleep an entire day? And then it shifts the timeline of one day in Arthur's mind? I don't know. That's very strong. a whole day and night for being drugged on the site of the incident. I don't remember. I don't know if you're aware this game is a remake of a mobile game. The devs first released 10 years ago that was Chinese only. Yeah, I saw that. And I also saw that the first case was not like the first case in this remake is not like in the original game. From what I've gathered, like the original case, first case was something about like a construction site, I think. And I do believe that they did add like case 5, 4 and 5 in the remake. I'm not sure. To be fair, I'm not sure. But yeah, I saw like that things were like a little bit different also back then. Yeah, I'm not sure about like this whole day and night. Like the wording is too inaccurate, too like vague to make any assumptions. I really have to go now. If I can't find Prosecutor Nana, I need to at least submit the files to the police station. So we can present that evidence. Please help speak well of me in front of Prosecutor Ray. At least spare my life, I'm serious. See you in court tomorrow. Okay, so now we don't mind it. It's just a little trick to get information. They took out a prelude chapter that was a nightmare sequence before the first case. Oh, I see. I see. I mean, again, like to be honest, like I think the first case in the remake, it does work. It just works like this, so that makes sense. I need to check like Bilibili to see like footage from the original game. But yeah. And the first case proper was completely rewritten. Yeah, that's kind of like what I gathered from the search that I did. But yeah, and like I've seen also like that someone in the team, I don't remember if it was like the writer or whatever, passed away during the development of the remake. And yeah, like this is kind of like an homage as well, like this game. But like everything was in Chinese, so it was like I did not understand like fully what happened with like the development of the remake. By the time we returned to the office, it was already midnight. Even the shops downstairs were closed. Okay. I mean, we should just get ready for the case. So, and the rest of the game is mostly the same. Now it's not the time to take a nap. She is... I love her sprite. Speaking of which, that hypnotics is really intriguing. I'll see you... Wait, since it was on that otaku shirt, it means that he was that drugged person. Yeah, probably. But Alter Lemon seems completely unrelated to this case. What is the point of drugging him? There's something about like, there's a trick about temporality, but I can't understand like where it's leading. You can like make someone like... Like, why do you want to keep Lemon, Alter in the clinic? I'm guessing also that the time on the clock was changed to make him believe that like it was curfew time. Probably it wasn't, but the problem is that we have a pretty fixed timeline for like when, I can't remember his name, but like when the victim fell, right? Elio Giordano, because like we know from the autopsy, don't we have like an autopsy report? Yeah, between 1 and 3. To be fair, yeah, but it's like we also have this, but this doesn't prove that like he died at this exact time, to be honest. So yeah. Man sleep for a full day and night. That young man didn't seem to sleep so long. Because he did sleep that long, it's just like the time wasn't... He misunderstood like the timing. Because of like the clock, probably. This evidence might be the final piece of the puzzle to clarify the defendant's innocence. and your sister is still unaware of its existence. Our trump card. But Prosecutor Ray probably have prepared some troublesome tactics and will do everything to convict the defendant. There's also something with Annie, but I don't know. Yeah. What do you think of Sis as a prosecutor? Well, the first word that comes to mind is probably righteous. Although she is strategic, she won't use those despicable tricks. Some prosecutors prioritize winning, resorting to concealing evidence and manipulating testimonies to ensure a guilty verdict. Again, very similar to like the conversation of like Ace Attorney 1. But I don't think Prosecutor Ray would do that, right? I didn't expect you to understand her so well. Sis is very persistent about finding the truth. Yeah, when I was in college, she told me that the work of lawyers and prosecutors is essentially the same. Though at different starting points, both are using the form of debate to gradually reveal the truth. So very similar to Ace Attorney, obviously. Closer to investigation too, to be honest. So even if they attack each other harshly in court, all work they do ultimately is to speak for the facts. So you mean if Prosecutor Ray finds during the trial that Wolfgang Kohlefield is indeed innocent, she will drop prosecuting? Well, I haven't thought about that far yet. If you find during the investigation that Wolfgang Kohlefield is indeed guilty, would you give up defending him and quit midway? I haven't thought about that far yet. I mean, this is like the complicated situation. This is also like one of the very good like moment of, I think, like Ace Attorney is that you need to trust your client until you cannot. And also like this is a bit in Detective Conan, right? Like in the 3K of Osaka, where you have like in the 3K of Osaka, you have like Conan that is investigating with like, about like one of his, idols, football idols. And he doesn't want to believe that he is the culprit because obviously it is his idol. Someone is calling me, very interesting. I'll let it ring. And then Conan is like, no, but I will continue like investigating as much as I can because I owe him this. As my idol, I owe him to like find the truth, whether he is innocent or guilty, and make him realize if he is guilty, the errors of his way. And there's like this belief of like continuing investigation, always like seeking the truth because it is like a sign of respect, even if someone is, guilty or not. So there's some amount of like trust, but trust in the client, trust in the truth as well. And this is not easy, I think, especially when it's your job and things like that. Obviously, like it's a bit different than like, what is happening in real life. You don't have like confrontations like this in real life. But I guess in real life, this is the question of, would you like defend a client that you know is guilty? And the answer is like, I think for most lawyers, it's like, but everyone needs a lawyer, right? Even if you know they are guilty, there's some amount of responsibility that like you have in trying to uphold the, the justice as an ideal. So yeah. This is the baptism that every newcomer, Tudor Drake and Thomas Coe must undergo, isn't it? The meaning of the law. You have a background in law school, so you should have thought about this question many times. What is the meaning of the law? You're testing me. The meaning of the law has been discussed for centuries. The law consists of social norms and behavioral standards established by the legislature, recognized by society for all citizens. My understanding is that it is essentially a tool that humanity uses to seek truth and maintain the proper functioning of society. But what if there is a contradiction between truth and maintaining the functioning of society? As those serving the law, what should we do? Does such a situation even exist? I'll grab a small chair and join you in. The spring and autumn period of China. Confucius, a famous scholar, had a hot-tempered student named Zhi. I heard about him. I think I saw him in a comic book when I was a kid. This is a pretty... Am I mistaken? No. I need the story to continue. One day, Zhi went out to buy a helmet and witnessed a quarrel between a clothes retailer and a farmer who was buying clothes. The farmer wanted to buy 7 feet of clothes, with each foot priced at 3 coins. The clothes vendor said 3 times 7 is 24, but the buyer insisted on 3 times 7 is 21. Yeah. Seeing this, Zhi meddled, saying that 3 times 7 is 21, so 7 feet of clothes should also cost 21. The retailer, glancing at Zhi, said, "What do you know about it? You're just an outsider." So they started to argue and couldn't persuade each other. So this kind of thing only happens in times without calculators. What then? Then Zhi got so angry and said, "If 3 times 7 is 24, I'll give you the helmet I just bought." The retailer insisted his words and said, "If 3 times 7 is 21, I'll cut off my head and give it to you." In the end, they decided to go to Confucius to seek justice. Back then, Confucius' authority was supreme and he was equivalent to the law. After listening to the explanation of the retailer, Confucius smiled and said to Zhi, 3 times 7 is 24, Zhi. Give the helmet to him. Did I hear that correctly? Confucius can't do math. How is that possible? Zhi was also puzzled and went to ask Confucius. He told him that losing a helmet is not a big deal. He can always buy another one. But if the retailer loses his head, that is a life. I never thought about it that way. The former chief used to tell me that the original purpose of the law is to maintain all humanity's order and interest. As long as each judgment rewards the good and punishes the wicked, and society benefits the most with the least harm, the so-called truth is not as important as we imagine. But if the truth is not important, then why do we investigate so diligently? It is for finding the basis for judgment. If we can't visit every relevant person and collect every clue, what we see is only one side of the case. To ensure that every verdict leans towards the most reasonable outcome, we must first have an overview of the entire incident. I'm still a bit confused. If you don't understand now, it's okay. During your staying here, you'll encounter all sorts of cases and people. Treat them as experiences and try to find your own answers. Okay, this is very interesting because this is like kind of what we have like in some situations in real life, right? I think especially lately for reasons, we have talked a lot about like jury nullification and how like a jury, even like if they do agree that like a defendant is guilty, can nullify the judgment on the basis of greater social, good, or like external reasons that are like socially minded. Because it's this belief that law is not necessarily just. As like Charlie was kind of saying, law is a social contract in which you try to minimize the amount of disruption in society. You try to maximize the welfare of every citizen of a country. But because of that, law is always a snapshot of a period and of like a social mindset. And that's why law obviously is getting like updated, every now and then with like jurisprudence and case resolution that will like hold power for like subsequent judgments. And this is like how law is evolving. And I do believe that like it is the responsibility of every people involved in the law procedure to think about how dynamic law can be, and to not like apply law to the letter, but try to come with something that is serving like a purpose for like humanity and like for a society. I think that like I genuinely believe that detective fiction is most like first and foremost about like society. When a crime is committed, whether it's a murder or something else, it is a disruption of the social order. And one important thing is to understand where is this disruption coming from? Why do people resort into committing crimes? And this is like, for me, the real basis of like a detective story. It's understanding people. Obviously, you can like, enjoy the tricks and the resolution, trying to find the culprit. But I do believe that like the real key of like detective fiction is to understand why people are driven to such like extremities. And it's especially the case if we talk about like Japanese detective fiction. It's the case of like the Shakaiha, the social school of detective fiction, that was kind of like a reaction to a more orthodox school where only the puzzle would matter. And you have like people, if you take like, for example, nowadays, like Keigo Higashino, which is kind of like doing like a mix of like Shionkaku, so very much like on the puzzle side, but also like deep influence of like Shakaiha. And like lately, Keigo Higashino, he is very, popular, and he made like very interesting comments on what he wants to write. And if you read Keigo Higashino, most of the time the culprit is quite evident. The story will give out the culprit immediately, and the most important question is like, how can you reach the point where you commit a crime in this society? And if you read Keigo Higashino, be it like The Devotion of Suspect X, Midsummer Equation, the short stories or whatever, you will find this idea that there's this pressure put on people, like especially in Japan, this peer pressure, and some people are crumbling because of that, of the pressure and not having like the necessary welfare and, social like net to be able to live in this society, to be able to live up to the expectations of society. And sometimes you do not uphold the law, because in the great scheme of things, it doesn't matter. And that's what I think Charlie was saying with like a basis for judgment. You don't rule out for the truth. You rule out for the people. And that's the basis of like rehabilitative justice for me personally. And I think a very good example of that also is like in this like new Shionkaku like current, it's those deep social influence, societal influence, societal influence, where you have like writers, and especially like in Kindaishi, for example, Kindaishi Shonen no Jikenbo and Kindaishi like Sanju Nananen no Jikenbo, you have this idea of like, we spend a lot of time talking about like the motive, about what people are doing, that it's literally half of the case. And it's like, okay, we have identified the culprit, but why is that making everyone sad? Like we are accusing someone and we're basically ruining the life of this person by sending them to jail. But at the same time, do you have like another choice? And this is like a very deep question. Like in Kindaishi, in QED, in Detective Conan to some respect, although it's less prominent because Detective Conan is slightly less concerned by like the motive than other, well, the big three of like detective manga. And I think there's something beautiful in those conversations of like, law is hard. Justice as a concept, it's hard. There's no big answer. There's no, we need to like rule things that way, in that direction. We need to like always seek the truth. It's not exactly that, because in Detective Conan, you have this idea of like, oh, there's only one truth, which is something like that the anime is saying a lot. This is wrong. Like in the manga, you never see that line because there's not only one truth. Facts and truth, the motives, everything is subjective. Everyone will have their own truth about a situation. And I think like this is the very, very critical point of like detective fiction, is that you need to put yourself in someone else's shoes to understand like why this disruption happened, this disruption of the social order. And I really like when fiction is trying to go into that direction, into the direction of, it's not like, yeah, we are in a game, we are like in a book. This can be, you know, entertaining, but at the end of the day, in like the, you know, the narration, we're talking about people dying, basically. We're talking about people killing other people. And this is like tragic. And when we have like fiction that is taking that seriously, I'm like, yeah, this is good detective fiction. This is something that can be entertaining, but also like say something about the world we live in, trying to like pinpoint the injustice, pinpoint what is wrong with our current system, and trying to just like give ideas about what we can change. And I hope that this game, with this particular conversation that is so explicit, will be in that line of there's something that is not right nowadays with law, with how we are ruling, with our idea of like punitive justice, but maybe we can do better. We don't have like, and maybe the game, and I hope the game doesn't have like any, you know, very straightforward ideas of what we should change, but just saying that we should strive for better, because this is, when we're interested in law, this is like the bare minimum you can do for the people, like for all humanity, as Charlie was saying. Anyway, I'm yapping, I don't know what I'm saying. As the night deepened, even a few streetlights outside the door gradually went out. Although I discussed those matters with Luna, I still can't grasp the core of the Lemon Village case. Tomorrow's trial will bring the case to a close, so I must reveal everything within the limited time. A magnificent battle of beliefs. Okay, let's focus on... This was a very short investigation, to be honest. Let's focus on the... on the case. Oh, by the way, that's why like things were... That's why like on the screen, I felt like the UI was a bit weird. There was some weird padding on, well, some cropping on my layout. So let me correct that like quickly. I need you to be like smaller. Like this. Better. Okay. Fortunately, compared to yesterday when I knew nothing about the case, I now have a loyal helper. Speak of the devil. I'm counting on you for everything today. Trust me, I'm truly innocent. I know, we confirmed that yesterday. But the current evidence is still against you. Today's trial can't allow any mistakes. I'll show my support from the mountaintop for you. It's better if you just stay quietly in the defendant seat. To be fair, +2. Why is she so embarrassed, flustered? Speaking of which, what do you think about today's trial, Chief? Well, the key point is another person who was at the scene when the incident occurred, like the third party. But we still don't have enough evidence to identify this person. But the otaku yesterday gave us a super cool advice. As long as we use that verity lens, no one can lie in front of us. Well, naive. Even if a police-certified lie detector using it in court requires a complex verification process. So that's the way to like not have us use this thing like in court. A mysterious thing. If we bring someone that looks like a weapon into the courtroom, will definitely be confiscated as a dangerous item. The opponent is her. The more critical the moment, the more cautious I need to be. Also have a subtle sense that the night demon curse shrouding this village is way more complicated than we imagine. This is probably something that is fostered to, that is kept alive to like prevent people from going outside or something like this. Keep your pace and fighting with this until the end. Okay, let's do it. The trial for the college student Wolfgang Collifield, accused of murder in the Nightfall Valley, is now reconvening. The defense is ready, and the prosecution is also ready. I'm just not used to the prosecutor behaving normally all of a sudden. Well, through yesterday's trial, the defense has proven the possibility of the presence of a third party at the scene. I wonder if both sides have any new discoveries in yesterday's investigation. Before we proceed, I want to submit a piece of evidence. The function of these sunglasses with electronic components is now clear. Interesting. It is a military-grade portable night vision goggles designed to be ordinary sunglasses for mission convenience. A night vision, I see. That's a bit surprising. Please allow me to explain. These so-called night vision goggles are equipment that uses active illumination and the infrared light reflected from the target to enable observation at night. If I put them, I could punch a hole in Mr. Drake even in total darkness. I see. I have a question. If it's a military device, is there a record of its purchaser? Unfortunately, the investigation revealed that both the night vision goggles and the military dagger came from the black market. In other words, even a college student like the defendant could obtain them with little effort. Perhaps the defendant brought the night vision goggles to the scene as an auxiliary tool to ensure a smooth operation at night. Refrain from arbitrarily defining the evidence. As we discussed yesterday, the owner is more likely to be the victim. Objections sustained. These fancy words means nothing. I wasn't planning to dip deeply into those goggles anyway. Yesterday, Mr. Drake claimed that the defendant lacked a motive for the crime. Today, the prosecution will punch hardly in this session and completely defeat the defense. New witnesses to summon. She's crazy. Here we go again. It feels like the courtroom has turned into a boxing ring again. Please summon the granddaughter of the village chief, the innocent and naive country girl Annie Lemon. Classic Ace Attorney opener. Even in the courtroom, she has to bring a lemon tea basket and a complete set of tea utensils. What are you doing? As you can see, brewing tea. The lemon tea is a specialty of our village, delicious and beneficial to the health. I just heard a lot of talk in the lobby. I thought someone might be thirsty, so I brew a pot of lemon tea. My internet acted up towards the end of the conversation due to connection problem on my end. Break ended too. Have fun, thank you, and good luck with work. Don't worry about it. What a kind and lovely girl. Mr. Beard, please, this is for me. It smells so good. To the beautiful lady called prosecutor, please don't be angry. It is not good for your health. Would you like some lemon tea? Thank you. Facing Annie, even Prosecutor Ray gets peaceful. Mr. Lawyer, Sis Luna, Luna Chatier, and all the ladies and gentlemen in the audience, there is still plenty of lemon tea here. If anyone wants a drink, feel free to come here and get some. A tea party. It's my first time to a place called a courtroom. I don't know what I should do. Don't be nervous, just do as I say. First, state your name and occupation. My name is Annie Lemon, and my grandpa is the village chief of Lemon Village. I've never left the village, so I guess I don't have an occupation. Well, good. What do you know about the defendant Wolfgang Collifield? He's a very interesting guy. Very, you shouldn't say things like that. Well, it feels like more pointed than anything. He came to our village on the 19th. He told me a lot about the outside world. Then, did you tell him anything about the victim Elio Giordano? Well, when we had dinner together, I might have mentioned it a bit. Well, please testify about that part. This is the first time I've heard about it. I wonder what Prosecutor Ray is up to. Okay. Before the incident, Wolfgang and I had a dinner together. When I was told him... No, I was then told... it was then that I told him that Mr. Giordano had an argument with Dr. Vincent. I'm wondering if Wolfgang thought Mr. Giordano was a bad guy and wanted to stand up for our village. Am I a bad girl? Maybe I shouldn't have casually talked about the village with outsiders. Later, he said he wanted to see the moon at night, but I told him not to go out. It would have been better if he had listened. Several days ago, Mr. Giordano came to my home. He seemed like he wanted to talk to Grandpa about something. And at that time, Dr. Vincent was also there. The conversation was difficult for me to understand, so I stayed in my room. Later, I heard them seemingly quarreling. I was worried they might fight, so I rushed out to stop them. Physical fighting, maybe. Annie, the content of the argument is critical. Could you recall it? I only heard a little and didn't quite understand what it meant. It was something like, "You ignorant village doctor, the village chief said he would consider it. Why are you interfering? And are you a money slave? Do you even deserve to be a scientist?" or something like that. Huh. Very important testimony. A heroism-inspired college student wanting to stand up for the villager is not surprising at all. But in this way, the village doctor, who also had an argument with the victim, also created a motive for committing the crime, didn't he? Nonsense. Having a motive is one thing, but having the opportunity to commit a crime is another. Please think about it with your hands. There are double security for the villagers, a surveillance camera and a curfew. No villager could cross these two barriers and appear at the crime scene in the middle of the night. I mean, yes. Although prosecutor's Ray argument makes sense, how am I supposed to use my hands to think about it? Oh yeah, because boxing. Apart from the defendant, there hasn't been anyone else with the opportunity to commit the crime. Proceed with the questioning. I don't exactly know what... I don't see anything we should press immediately, but... An argument. Can you repeat the specific content of the argument? Yeah, that's what we... Do we even deserve to be a scientist? So he is a scientist, like Elio is a scientist. And then you went out to stop them. Although Anis looks quiet and obedient, it seems she is quite brave in critical moments. Later he said he wanted to see the moon at night, but I told him not to go out. Did he say it while having dinner? The moon would be beautiful that night and that he had to see it. He did mention that he would go out at midnight to admire the moon. Should I ask for more details? Why did you tell him to not go out? It's quite obvious. Did you go out that night? How was the moon that night is probably the thing. I specifically looked out of the window that night and it was pitch black as usual with no moon in sight. What the? No moon in sight? No moon in sight? But... Is there a trick with like the camera? On the night of the incident, oh, so we have that. On the night of the incident, the weather around Nightfall Valley was clear with almost no cloud. A rare supermoon was visible, with high visibility. You just mentioned that it was pitch black outside the window on the night of the incident, right? It's not a metropolitan. It's natural not to see anything without street lights. I doubt that. Besides artificial lights, there is a natural blessing that guides us in the darkness. You mean exactly? I'm referring to the moon and the stars high in the night sky. It could have been cloudy on the night of the incident, so it's not a problem at all. Please take a look at the weather report from the night of the incident, which you presented to court yesterday, Prosecutor Ray. The report states that it was clear and cloudless in this Nightfall Valley that night with high visibility. Furthermore, even the footage captured by the camera, the moon in the sky is visible clearly. Good job, Chief. But what's the point? Miss Lemon, I know you're hiding something, but I have to make this issue clear. On the night of the incident, did you really look out of the window? If not, why did you lie to us? But I absolutely did. There was nothing. Every word in the evidence shows that even if you couldn't see the moon due to the obstruction of houses and forests, the scene outside of the window should never have been pitch black. The defense is making a fuss of irrelevant details. It's ridiculous. Perhaps the witness just didn't look carefully and made a mistake in her memory. If she didn't look carefully, why would she say it in front of so many people? The objection of the prosecution is unreasonable. Since you're so sure, Mr. Drake, tell us your brilliant theory. Why would a witness lie? I mean, we have literally nothing here. I really don't see Annie has any reason to lie. I didn't lie. I didn't see anything that night for real. Where was it? Where did that take place? Because I'm kind of like... This is like the trick they show. This is why like the tablecloth is here. It's because it has been used probably like to make it appear like it's night outside by like pinning it to the window, to the shutter. And then you like change the hour on the clock, but that's in the clinic. Unfortunately, this particular discussion is not talking about the clinic, they show. So I just don't know where we're going. How innocent and kind a girl is. The lawyer is truly despicable. Very Ace Attorney. I can't remember which one, but like there was a similar thing in Ace Attorney. I've never seen a more shameless man. Does a vulture deserves to be a lawyer? The entire courtroom is against me now. Was it necessary to be so harsh on Annie? Even I can't stand on the united front with you on this. Since you insist that the witness is lying, can you explain to the court the reason? Racked your brains, huh? The prosecution believes such trivial matters is not worth discussing. Annie's testimony is more than sufficient to establish the motive of the defendant. I need to change the topic. The evidence submitted by the defense yesterday merely suggests the possibility of a third party. However, if we rule out outsiders, the villagers had no way to leave the village without being caught on camera. All your words are in vain. That's kind of my thing, is that we need someone to have like escaped the camera, but I can't imagine like I can't see the trick. Stella is so cool. I really dig her design. I think like they went a bit slightly overboard with her like boxing thing because they wanted to have like the Franziska von Karma thingy, like but with like punching instead of using a whip. But like I really like how precise she is without being like completely ruthless. Avoiding the camera is not impossible. I was just trying to gather more information before putting forward the way of avoiding the camera. How can you avoid the camera? Oh, it activates during curfew. You just have to go out of the village beforehand. If you leave beforehand, then you can avoid the camera. So if Dr. Vincent was there in the beginning. I don't see it. I can't see it. Don't think you can delay any longer with bluff. It's just a waste of time. Your Honor, I believe that there's no need to continue questioning anymore. This is pressuring the judge to verdict. Although the contradictions in the witness testimonies are puzzling, I don't see any relevance to this case. Currently, the surveillance footage at the village entrance is the strongest alibi for all villagers. Since the defense can't refute this claim, I'm ready to proceed with the verdict for the defendant. Your Honor, the defense believes that there is another possibility to discuss. Are you going to say you found a way to bypass the camera? Yeah, you bypass the camera and the curfew at the same time. Although it might be slightly different from your bypassing. The police investigation report denies any means to bypass the camera while leaving the village. If your way is not feasible, the court will impose severe punishment on you. It will be fine, I hope. To prevent the defense from bluffing, I'll add more to the punishment. She will punch us in the face. Don't make any mistake. What is the method to bypass the camera at the village entrance and leave the village? You need to leave before curfew. The method to bypass the camera at the village entrance and leave the village is actually very simple. Although the camera don't have blind spots, there is a significant blind time. Arthur Lemon once mentioned that the activation time of the camera perfectly aligns with the curfew, which means that there won't be any recorded footage if entering or exiting the village out of curfew hours. Yes, exactly. If someone leaves the village before the curfew and waits outside until dawn, and enters the village from after 8 a.m., when the curfew is lifted, he could quietly conceal these nighttime activities. Oh, is that the trick? Is that the trick? Because no, it doesn't work. Wait, a full day and night. If you come before curfew, full day and night. It doesn't make sense. I don't understand the hypnotics timing, but therefore the defense argues that the prosecution's claim that all villagers have alibis is untenable. But we're absolutely not allowed to leave the village at night. Although it's hard to believe, the possibility given by the defense cannot be ignored. Good job, Chief, but spending the whole night in the wilderness sounds a bit far-fetched. The premise of our defense is that the killer is someone else, and this person does not appear in the footage. After excluding all impossibilities, the only remaining possibility is the truth. Sherlock Holmes quote, "This is the basic logic of deduction." But Chief, which is not exactly deduction by the way, but Chief, does the killer really hide among the villagers? To be honest, I'm not entirely sure about identifying the suspect just yet. It seems I have to take it step by step. Your Honor, the defense requests to examine all the key witnesses about their activities throughout the day of the incident. If we want to find out whether someone left the village during the day and didn't return all night, this is the best way indeed. What about the prosecution's opinion? Regarding the defense proposition, the prosecution also believes it's worth discussing. However, Your Honor, what if the defense questioning doesn't yield any substantial progress? Continuously questioning multiple villagers in court is very time-consuming. Therefore, we want to propose a condition. If the defense questioning doesn't lead to any breakthrough, Your Honor, you should render a verdict immediately. Due to the victim's unique identity, the court seeks to reach a swift verdict and provide clarity to the relevant authorities. To avoid further delays in the trial, I believe the prosecution's suggestion is reasonable. Chief, could the condition proposed by Sis be a trap? You should object to it. When I brought up that possibility, Prosecutor Ray didn't show the slightest hint of surprise, which means she is still in control of everything in the trial. Perhaps she has already investigated the villagers' activities that day and set up this trap for us. Even if I wanted to object, the judge and the entire court have been convinced by her words just now. Then what can we do? Well, I have no room to retreat whatsoever. If we are in a boxing ring, I would have already been pushed into a corner. Your sister, Stella Ray, is a formidable and even terrifying... Yeah, okay, we accept the prosecution. I don't know why it skipped automatically, but... Good. However, as attorney, we bear the interest and even the life of our clients. When necessary, we must be prepared to take risks, even if we know that the lions lay ahead. The villagers relevant are Annie Lemon, Alta Lemon, and Vincent Lemon. Since one of them is already on the witness stand, let's start with her. Okay. At noon on the day of the incident, Wolfgang arrived in the village carrying a large backpack. Okay. Grandpa was bedridden, so he told me to receive him. I was very happy. Then I took him to the guest room, which is next to Mr. Giordano. By the way, I saw a beautiful painting hanging outside Dr. Vincent's house on the day. Okay. So it confirms that the clothes that we saw, like of the night, well, the starry night, was indeed pinned to the window to make it look as it was night from within. It means that Alta came at some point in the day to drink and watch anime, got drugged by Vincent, slept until basically, let's say, like slightly after 8 a.m. Vincent would have had the time to go out before curfew to avoid the camera. He would spend the night outside and then come back after curfew, wake up Alta, and go on herb gathering with him. So that was already set up like in advance, like at least since noon. The sky in the city in the painting was splendid and there were lovely moons. After that I went back to take care of Grandpa until Wolfgang came to dinner. Once the curfew started, I stayed by Grandpa's side and didn't leave the house anymore. Yeah, okay, pretty straightforward. We understood like this situation with, I think, the painting, but it really points towards like Vincent's culpability. So no one can directly prove that Mrs. Lemon was still in the village before curfew. But I never thought of going out during the curfew. How could I? When you stop offending the young girl with such despicable language, are you planning to accuse her of the murder? I didn't do anything. I had no intention of accusing you. I just wanted to confirm the situation. Is that so? Of course. To avoid annoying the crowd in the courtroom, I need to be extremely careful when questioning Annie. Okay. So, there's obviously the painting, but I don't want to... I don't know. Let's check what we have. Carrying a large backpack, okay. Was bedridden. Took him to the guest room, which was next... Huh. Dr. Vincent's house, are you referring to the village clinic? Yes, it looks like he hung a painting by the window. I saw it while passing through the square. Find any painting inside or outside the clinic during the search? I did see it. The spring painting. We know what it is. So we just need to press here, they show.
反对。
Is that what you call a beautiful painting? Yes, that's what I saw. Isn't that a world-famous masterpiece, although the material of the canvas is a bit peculiar? It is Van Gogh's famous work, Starry Night. After his second mental breakdown, he drew the mad yet beautiful night sky as he saw in the Saint-Rémy de Provence asylum. She knows her lore. I didn't expect Prosecutor Ray to have such an artistic taste, but that's not my point. Rather than saying that the canvas is unique in material, it's more correct to say that it is not a painting at all. The actual purpose of this evidence is a tablecloth. During our search, it was placed in the clinic of Lemon Village, which is also the residence of Dr. Vincent. Because Miss Lemon mentioned the painting on the wall, we assumed its material was paper. Therefore, this painting didn't disappear, it was simply put back on the table by its owner. We finally found a contradiction in the crime scene. It's not a contradiction. She has such a nice theme. So what does the defense want to demonstrate with the tablecloth? It's possible that the village doctor just took down the tablecloth to decorate the window temporarily, or the tablecloth was wet and hung outside to dry. No matter what the reason is, it has no relevance to this case. You won't tell us that this tablecloth is the murder weapon, will you? Your Honor, I can no longer tolerate the defense and request an immediate halt of the questioning of this witness. I just observe and see how it unfolds. I mean, we know. The defense has not obtained any valuable information. To save time, the prosecution may summon the next witness. The witness who came here yesterday, it must be him. Why do I have to come up again? My bad. Skip the name. Please state your action on the day and on the day of the incident immediately. My action that day, what does it have to do with the case? Hurry up. I'm sorry. Okay. I don't know why I have to testify. Do you suspect me? At noon on the 19th, I went to Dr. Vincent's house to drink. At noon, okay. So it works with our timeline. Then I fell asleep because I was too sleepy. When I woke up, it was already 10 p.m. It was already 10 p.m. No, it was actually... It was pitch black outside and the curfew had already started. So Dr. Vincent and I watched a new release together. That's how he's creating his alibi, right? But that actually happened... That actually happened during the day. It has to happen during the day. So that Arthur thought it was the night, but it was probably like in the afternoon because like the room was pitch black. Then he falls asleep again. And he's drugged like for the night. For real this time. By the time we finished, it was already 2 a.m. A perfect alibi, right? Okay, so 10 to 2, which is like a time frame of 6 hours. So if like he woke up basically at noon, wait, it doesn't work. Because it would already be curfew, right? A question. You mentioned new release. New release of what? Don't you live in the city? How come you didn't know that? The new release he's talking about should be the latest Japanese anime. While the imagination of the Japanese artist may have its merits, the art style is far from comparable to the classics. She is crazy. Don't criticize my sacred realm like this. I don't have time to discuss it with you. The remaining 2 villagers both have clear alibis. That's what matters. They stayed in the house. It seems that Prosecutor Ray anticipated this situation and set up a trap. No, it has to happen during the day. Okay, the questioning. So we need to press the pitch black thingy, desio? What time exactly was it? Around noon? No, it worked then. Because if it's before noon, then Vincent has like half an hour of leeway to get out of the village. My dad usually forbids me from drinking, but generous Dr. Vincent often invites me over for a drink when he has new stock. I don't really drink, but Dr. Vincent is a doctor, so he always lectures me about the danger of drinking too much. How much did you drink? He didn't drink much. It was mainly me who was drinking, about 3 or 4 bottles. Of beer? Of course I drank 3 or 4 bottles. If I drank 3 or 4 bottles of Chinese liquor, I would have been dead. Very true. It's not a very large amount. I mean, 3 or 4 bottles is still something, right? You slept from noon straight to the evening. That's too long. It's only about 6, 7 or 8 hours if you calculate, not long to me. Generation, oh, the Zoomers. He's an otaku after all. An otaku just stays holed up at home, sleeping all day and night, right? That's more like a potted plant growing on a bed. Even though otakus stay at home all the time, we never waste our precious time on sleeping because there's such a wonderful world in computer. Then why did you sleep for so long that day? Drank beer? The defense requests that the witness include the previous statement in his testimony. Okay, so that's our point of entry into that contradiction so we can unravel our logic. Because I drank. So here we send this. Do you believe that you suddenly fell asleep just due to alcohol and exhaustion? Of course, what else could it be? You should have more confidence in your alcohol tolerance and physical strength. Because the real reason you fell asleep is that someone drugged you. Drugged? What? What do you mean? Well, this shirt was found in your room. Do you wear it? Did you wear it the night you were in the clinic? I did. On the cuffs of the shirt, there is a trace of white stain. This is not a color that beer can leave. Through our investigation, we have confirmed that there are ingredients of hypnotics in the trace. What? Order. How could the police overlook such an important clue? If the prosecution keeps guiding the police investigation with the preconceived notion that the defendant is guilty, then this shirt is just a junk discarded in an irrelevant place to them. It is really the police who caused this oversight. Phew. So on the same day as the murder, the witness was drugged? It's hard to believe that they are isolated high incidents. Yes, Your Honor. Lemon Village is in a remote, mountainous area. Even their necessities are limited, let alone non-essential drugs like hypnotics. The defense believes that the village doctor Vincent Lemon has a significant suspicion of drugging the witness. Bro, what nonsense are you talking about? How could Dr. Vincent do such a thing? There is no such thing as impossible in the courtroom. Only concrete evidence has the absolute authority to speak. If it wasn't him who put drugs in your beer, what else could explain the stains on your shirt? Even if the doctor drugged the witness for an unknown purpose, as you say, this doesn't prove his connection to the case. As long as Alter Lemon woke up after the curfew and the doctor stayed inside with him indeed, they couldn't have appeared at the cliff when the crime occurred. Alter Lemon woke up after the curfew. Is it really the case? The witness just said that in the clinic, he could only confirm the time through the clock on the wall. So what if someone adjusted that clock during his sleep? But the police have already determined that the clock in the clinic was absolutely accurate during the investigation. Is that so? The police investigation can only prove its accuracy at present. Huh, I thought you would have some amazing arguments. It's simply impossible to determine the state of that clock in the past. Although it's difficult to determine the past state, the defense can present evidence that prove the possibility of the clock being adjusted recently. Seems to be thrown off balance because of the oversight in this evidence. Is our best appointee to strike back? The evidence that can prove the possibility of a clock on the wall being adjusted is... Do you use the clock first by saying that there's no dust? Isn't that the clock we're just discussing? Yeah, like I wanted to present the cloth first, like the tablecloth, but I think we are like a bit too fast in the logic for the game. Your Honor, generally speaking, a wall clock remains hanging on the wall after being bought and set to the right time, doesn't it? The clock is in my office has been here for 5 years. Since it keeps accurate, we never have taken it down. The battery life cycle is truly impressive. It has never been taken down? It seems Prosecutor Ray already got my point. When we investigated this circular clock, there was not a single speck of dust on it, indicating that it had just been wiped. Which means someone had touched the clock not long ago. Indeed, the defense cannot determine the state of the clock on the night of the incident, but the fact that the clock is spotless is highly unusual. The defendant believes that it is necessary for the village doctor Vincent Lemon to stand in court and explain for it. Day and night are not just a matter of the clock. Do you think that simply adjusting the clock can reverse day and night, or you're indicating the witness is blind? Yes, when Dr. Vincent and I were watching anime, it was pitch black outside. Nothing else at all. The prosecution believes that the alibi provided by Vincent Lemon and Alter Lemon remains unbreakable. Well, we know it's not true. Let me state my opinion. Although Prosecutor Ray's argument is reasonable, the evidence submitted by the defense makes sense either. The court believes that administrating hypnotics is a highly suspicious act. To clarify the facts, it is necessary to summon the village doctor to testify. What do both of you think? No objection either. Vincent Lemon is the only doctor in the entire village, and he is busy every day. Although he received an invitation to attend this court as spectator, he is not present today. The prosecution anticipated the current situation, so we sent someone to pick him up half an hour ago. It will take some time to get here. I understand. Well, the court will adjourn for 20 minutes. The prosecution should ensure the witness present timely. I mean, we'll go in our direction, but I can't... We lack elements to conclude why does Vincent want to kill, or at least meet Elio by night. Stop talking about your sister, she still makes me shake like a leaf. If it weren't for the shirt tainted with hypnotics, I don't know how badly she would have defeated me. So let's set the time to discuss the case again. Is the culprit of Mr. Giordano really someone of the villagers? I'm afraid so, the truth is not always pleasant. Although there are defense strategies that focus on proving the defendant's innocence without caring about the real culprit, we have been far away from that path now. After all, the premise of proving the defendant's innocent is to establish the possibility of other people committing the crime. I hate it. Annie is such an adorable and innocent girl, and Alter helped us so much during the investigation. If we have to accuse a villager as the murderer of this case, there's only one choice left, right? Well, that's a good way of thinking, but our choice may be more than that. The other villagers related to the case that we haven't seen, like Zeus Lemon, Thor Lemon, or Athena Lemon. Are you serious about the name? There was something quite concerning during the trial. I'm not seeing the moon. Her room was also bordered up by black clothes, I believe. I still can't figure out why she would tell such a meaningless lie. Not exactly. Ever since I took on this case, I had a subtle feeling about Lemon Village. Despite the villagers are simply too simple and honest once they discuss certain topic. They make all sorts of statements that defy common sense. Night Demon. It is like Dr. Vincent upholding the thing every night. However, merely based on the fear of this mythical creature that no one has seen, this village can rigorously enforce the curfew. This is so weird. After all, there are educated people in the village. Maybe this Night Demon holds more undisclosed secrets, like it ate the moon so that Annie didn't see it. That's not what the moon-eating creature looks like, but compared to the Night Demon, I'm more concerned about Alder's lemon being drugged. Eh? Thanks for your hard work. His steps are surprisingly light. I overheard it from the defense seat just now. You mentioned that the village doctor drugged someone. Just a possibility, I need more evidence. I thought that doctor was a tough guy. I never accepted him to use such underhanded methods. If you want to beat someone down, just roll up your sleeves and confront them head on. You know your words can be quite misleading. By the way, during the recess, I can chat with him a little bit. I need to confirm something with you. On the night of the incident, were you admiring the moon at the cliff, right? I've repeated that many times. What was the night like? Lemon Village has no polluting factories around and the valley terrain is open. With the supermoon, not only was the vast starry sky clearly visible, but even every blade of grass underfoot can be seen clearly. It's so hard to find an earthly paradise like this, but I didn't expect to be dragged into such trouble. This description does match the weather report. By the way, you have such a rich travel experience. In your opinion, is there anything strange about Lemon Village? Every village has its own customs and peculiarities, but when it comes to Lemon Village, the villagers here not only believe in ghosts and gods, but also have peculiar ideas. I do have some thoughts about it. 2 minutes before the court session. I just saw Sis going. Okay, so we don't know what are those ideas yet. Oh wait, he said something. That nighttime demon might actually exist. Like someone has to be creating like the... Or is this game acknowledging the existence of like paranormal like phenomenon? Prosecution, have you brought the summoned witness? Yeah, the doctor who heals the wounded and rescued the dying, Vincent Lemon, please come in. Name and occupation. Vincent Lemon, the doctor of Lemon Village. Such a fitting outfit for the identity. What are you holding in your hands? Experimental preparation. I am independently developing a new medicine. I cannot afford delay, so I carry it with me. Forgive me. Independently developing it. As per the police report, the witness is a graduate of a top school and has been a chief physician in Germany's top hospital. He resigned from the job years ago and returned to Lemon Village to work as a doctor, repaying his hometown for nurturing him. This is truly respectable. I'm flattered. Safeguarding the health of the villagers has always been my aspiration. In this world, people with such noble characters are so rare. The scruffy attorney standing opposite of me just accused you of drugging another villager with hypnotics. It's not really an accusation. You dare to do it, but not to admit it. Do you summon me here just for such a boring matter? Even when accused of drugging someone, Dr. Vincent's expression hasn't changed at all. Well, then please proceed with your testimony on the matter. Before the witness begins the testimony, I have a question. Earlier, Miss Lemon mentioned that you had an argument with the victim. Is that true? Yes. Can you tell us the reason for the argument? That foreigner came to peddle some useless health products for the sake of money. Those medications not only have no practical effects but are sold at an exorbitant price. As a medical professional, I feel disgusted by such behavior, so we got into a dispute. Useless health products, or they got the content of the white medicine bottles. Have you seen the health products that he brought? How can you be sure they are useless? Of course, as the village doctor, I handle all matters related to medication directly. Even though he claimed it was an advanced targeted inhibitor with cutting-edge technology, even without testing I could tell it's just a regular nutritional supplement with no therapeutic effect and no harm. So the target inceptor that Annie heard was targeted inhibitor. By the way, the so-called exorbitant price, how much was it exactly? 100,000 per bottle. So 1,000 euro per bottle. Like maybe a bit less than that, but can't remember the yuan-euro conversion rate. Given this price, I'm afraid few people in big cities, let alone in a small mountain village, could afford it. If that medication is really just a regular nutritional supplement, I might just not argue but punch him instead. Therefore, I had a quarrel with him. After being stopped by Annie, we had no further contact. Do you have any question? No more. Okay. Testimony. I know nothing about hypnotics. Is that the end of the testimony? Finished? You just say one sentence? Very funny, okay, very Ace Attorney-esque. Aren't you asking for the testimony about hypnotics? One sentence is enough. He must be the culprit, absolutely. Even if I find it hard to stay calm. Okay. Anyway, Mr. Drake, please proceed with your examination. I mean, we can only, like, press here. I said too little about that. It is the testimony about hypnotics after all. I don't have any direct evidence of his drugging someone. If he refuses to talk more, I have nothing to do. Well, can you tell us about what happened during the day of the incident? Yeah, the original purpose of summoning you here is to have you testify about your actions on the day of the incident. Since Mrs. Drake is not giving in, say a few more words to make him give up then. What I wanted to say has already been stated by Alter. I don't understand why I have to repeat. At noon on the 19th, I invited Alter to my home for a small drink, and then I spent the rest of the time researching medicine. At 10 p.m., Alter woke up and we studied Japanese anime together. Until 2 a.m. Let's press on the curfew, right? Are you sure it was 10 p.m.? Of course. Why did you wake him up until then? He hadn't slept the night before and his body was in urgent need of conditioning. As a doctor, I'm responsible for his health. Yet you ended up watching anime until midnight. If Alter Lemon was awakened by him, then the time of the awakening seemed to be within his control. Should I ask more the village doctor action that night? Did you really not go to the cliff that night? I never stepped out of the house that night, let alone went to the cliff. Part of a cotton jacket. Like at the very least we could, I don't know. I never left the house. Yeah, just because of the fingerprints, right? And then... it should be enough. Like, the problem is that we don't really know where it comes from. But I think it's probably enough to cast suspicion on him at the very least with just the fingerprints. You just say you didn't step out of your house on the night of the incident, right? That's strange. Why is there such a piece of cloth hanging on the branch below the cliff? The cliff area is exposed to wind and sun for a long time, yet this piece of cloth is almost spotless, which indicates that it was recently hung there. More interestingly, your fingerprints are on this piece of cloth. Fingerprints. This shoddy evidence might have helped you get through yesterday, but it won't keep working. As far as I know, the witness, as the village doctor, often gathered herb at the cliff. It is normal for his clothes to get torn. Yes, on the day of the incident, I did go to the cliff to gather herbs. There are some cotton fibers on this cloth. Clearly it belonged to a black cotton jacket. Are you sure you didn't wear it during the daytime? It's summer now. Who would wear a cotton jacket outside during daytime? Lemon Village is in a valley and the temperature difference between day and night is significant. Do you want to experience the chilly morning air in short sleeves? If this clothes were left there on the morning of the incident, the court must consider it unrelated to the case. Don't jump to the conclusion. The defense believes this evidence could only have been left on the incident night. True, because it was cut. The decisive evidence is the clothes itself. I'm a bit confused. Can you be more specific? To be precise, this area of the clothes reveals that it was left at the scene on the incident, on the night of the incident. Of course, it's a defense strategy. Wait, I did click like... So I need to click like basically here, right? I mean, isn't this like, it's like this cut, right? Is there anything here? Of course. What? It's like, I know it has been cut, but like, can I please? I'll save because it feels weird. Oh, is it this part that I need to click? Okay, weird. Because it's the same part, like it's the same cut. For a piece of fabric torn and scratched by vegetation, isn't the cut on this side too neat? To leave such a neat incision, the only possible thing is a sharp object. Probably the cotton jacket was cut by a sharp object first, then the piece of cloth was snagged by the branches of the bush. What is this sharp object? The clothes of the night demon mentioned earlier? No, I think this piece of evidence dropped at the crime scene is actually the actual tool that cut this cotton jacket. Considering the difficulty of obtaining this military dagger and compared to the villager and the defendant as a college student, its owner is more likely to be the victim, Mr. Giordano. So defense, are you suggesting that the witness met with the victim at the cliff that night? I do have an idea, but once brought up, it will lead to a problem that must be solved. I mean, I've just let you speak a few more words and you're already putting on a show on a Broadway. You're saying that the neat cut on the cloth is left by this dagger. What's the basis for this inference? Could we compare the cut with the shape of the blade? Unfortunately, the technique you mentioned can only be used to verify a wound, but not to the cut of a cloth. And more importantly, just know in Arthur Lemon's testimony, the alibi for Vincent Lemon has already been established. So we need to destroy the alibi first. Under this premise, the prosecution refuses to acknowledge the defense claims. The court believes that the witness's testimony is consistent with the previous one and his alibi remains valid. Although the evidence submitted by the defense brings doubts, I believe that it's not enough to refute the testimony given just now. We did not do a mistake. There's a fragment of his clothes at the cliff and he drugged Alter Lemon. They all seem very suspicious. It's indeed not enough to prove his action at the scene. The most crucial thing now is to overturn Arthur's Lemon testimony that they watched anime together until late at night. Believes that there are still doubts in this witness's alibi. Arthur Lemon claims that he and Vincent Lemon watched anime at the clinic late until night. The problem here is the time they watched anime was not at night. Are you suggesting that Arthur Lemon committed perjury? Not exactly. Arthur Lemon had no reason to lie intentionally, but he could have been misled and provided testimony that doesn't align with the facts. The alibi for this witness is as follows. He and Arthur Lemon were drinking at home and Arthur Lemon fell asleep. When he woke up, it was already 10 p.m. Whether the witness went out before this or not, as long as he was still in the village after 10 p.m., it's impossible for him to appear at the cliff at the time of the incident. We just proven that there are traces of tampering with the clock in the clinic, and the only means by which Arthur Lemon confirmed the time is precisely your clock on the wall. If some method were used to make Arthur Lemon fall asleep and then he was woken up after the clock was tampered with, you can create a false time. So what we talked about. And the only person who could make him fall asleep is the witness who can use hypnotics. Mr. Drake, are you an idiot? This isn't a sci-fi novel where you just turn the dial to reverse day and night. Have you forgotten that what Arthur Lemon said when he testified? It was pitch black, right? It was pitch black outside. So that's where we are presenting the clock. Pitch black outside a window doesn't necessarily mean it's really nighttime. The witness can completely create that effect. What? I finally understand the significance of Annie's testimony just now. As long as the witness used this thing, he could make Arthur Lemon mistake day for night. The world-famous painting seen by Miss Lemon? Yes, and to be precise, is a tablecloth. You mean the witness used it to make Arthur Lemon mistake daytime for nighttime? Does this tablecloth really have such a magical effect? I'm still confused. Just recall Annie's testimony and the method for using this tablecloth to reverse day and night will be clear. To be precise, the method of reversing day and night with this tablecloth was to cover the window. The wording is weird here. To cover with the window with the back of the tablecloth, I guess. He used the back of the tablecloth. The back? Yes, the back of the tablecloth is pure black and its material is thick and opaque. Just nail it outside the window and people inside the room will naturally think the outside is pitch black. It's so unexpected. The defense has carefully checked it. There are traces of tacks at the four corners of this tablecloth. And everyone, please recall Miss Lemon's testimony. By the way, I saw a beautiful painting. Yeah, we saw. We remember this, obviously. I remember. This testimony precisely confirms that confirms the defense inference. What's more, Miss Lemon saw the painting in the afternoon. But does that prove? What does that prove? Please allow me to explain the entire process of this incident. Vincent Lemon invited Arthur Lemon in this room at noon for a drink and added a low dose of hypnotics to the wine, the beer. After Arthur Lemon fell asleep, Vincent Lemon quickly nailed the back of the tablecloth outside the window. After that, he set both the clock time and computer system time to 10 o'clock and woke up Arthur Lemon. How long did Dr. Vincent waking up from the time he fell asleep? Probably immediately, like 10 minutes. Yes, it's essential to reverse day and night at noon for this plan. Then to kill time as well as solidify Arthur Lemon's illusion, Vincent Lemon invited him to watch anime for quite a long time. By then, Arthur Lemon was firmly convinced that it was already late at night, but the actual time was still before 6 p.m. when Arthur Lemon fell asleep again, which perhaps because Vincent Lemon gave him another dose of abundant hypnotics. Vincent Lemon restored all the arrangements, left the village, stayed at the cliff all night until dawn when the curfew ended. So very consistent with what we predicted. So the whole process happened before the village cameras were turned on. Yes, that's exactly the plan the witness used to Oh my god. I came to the court with no intention of getting too involved in the case, and I have been trying to remain silent. Unexpectedly, the two lawyers took the opportunity to impose these slanderous words on me. The chief's reasoning is based on real evidence. Have you both already concluded that my alibi is forged? Yes, however, in your inference, there are still several huge contradictions. Do you still hold a different opinion from the defense? Well, indeed. I see, although the defense analysis is reasonable, the court will not deprive the witness of a right to defend himself. If you have a different opinion, please share it as part of your testimony. Okay. This lawyer resembles a wild brute, but his imagination is remarkably rich. Interesting, like, Allegro theme. You claim that I hid on the cliff and didn't return all night. This is nonsense. Can you provide any evidence? Using a tablecloth to cover the window and reverse day and night is even more ridiculous. Once Arthur leaves the room, the trick will be immediately exposed. No matter how capable I am, I couldn't possibly restrict his going out. In conclusion, the real killer in this case could not be anyone from this village. It doesn't make sense what he's saying, because like we can just present like this, like the rules. If he thought that it was night, he wouldn't leave the room. When does the thing judge the witness doesn't make sense, it's normal. The witness won't easily say things that sound untenable. Since all three of you think that he makes sense, shall we just announce the defendant guilty now? Oh no, I don't accept his testimony. Then don't waste time. Tell us your thought now. Such deception is useless. I'm more worried about whether he has other tricks waiting for us. Yeah, this is too easy right here. So we can like immediately dismantle like this particular... No matter how capable I am, yeah. We can dismantle his testimony just here. I did not restrict Arthur Lemon's movement. Once Arthur Lemon leaves the house, the trick will immediately be exposed. You're right, you didn't restrict his movements because you didn't need to. Arthur Lemon would restrict his own movement. Surely I am referring to the curfew. On the notice board in the village square, it is clearly stated that all villagers are prohibited from going out after 6 p.m. After being awakened by Vincent Lemon, Arthur Lemon mistakenly thought that it was already 10 p.m. He believed the whole village had already started curfew, so he naturally couldn't go out. You took advantage of the villagers' absolute obedience to the village rule to fabricate this alibi. Mr. Drake, it seems like you overlooked a very important fact. You've been emphasizing that the black color of the back of the tablecloth is crucial to creating the night. But can we really trust Arthur Lemon's testimony about that? Can we stop this topic? At this point, Mr. Drake is determined to stick to you. If you keep hesitating like this, you'll really fall into the cunning lawyer's trap. You must keep your eyes wide open and be careful not to be deceived by this despicable lawyer. Your Honor, I am all present. I want to ask you a question. For you, is nighttime equivalent to complete darkness? Although there is no sunlight at night, it shouldn't be completely dark, right? Even if there are no street lights, there are still stars and the moon, right? Very well. Thanks for your answers. As everyone said, night and darkness are not the same. Moreover, Nightfall Valley is clear and cloudless year-round, with excellent visibility at night. For people living in such a mountain village, how could they consider a pitch-black window as night? What on earth is going on? Yeah. Wait. The point of contention is that Annie also No, okay, wait. I see the vision. The problem is as follows. I do believe our deduction is perfectly correct for now. My brother refused to believe it was night if there was sun out, but we live somewhere where it doesn't really go down in summer. Yeah. So, okay, my deduction is as follows. We have a problem. The problem is that our deduction is real, but it contradicts the fact that Annie saw everything being pitch black when she was talking to Wolfgang. There is no reason why Vincent would like put a cloth also on the house of the chief. So why is Annie so sure of her testimony? The only possibility left is that she is indeed. She did indeed see nothing. She saw like pitch black. And it comes back to, I believe, the nighttime demon. Why do we have this rule of not going out in the night? For me, it's because she is true. Prosecutor Ray is true. You can't be... It doesn't make sense. You should be surprised to see like pure pitch dark. Unless it's what you're used to. And in that case, it means that everyone in the village is having this issue. Maybe like it's, you know, a generational like illness of not being able to see, but like, do we really have like a... It's the only thing that makes sense. It's the only thing that makes sense, not being able to see during the night. Do we have another solution? Can I tie that to like the demon? For me, the demon is just something that has been created to be able to give like an explanation like to like a disease, for example. That's why it's the moon eater. It eats the moon because like the villagers cannot see the moon. They never see the moon. It only happens if they have like, for some reason, like an illness that would like prevent them of like seeing things outside. Because you cannot, it is not like a punctual event. It has to be something on the long term. And that's the only way to explain that like Alter was not surprised and that Annie was telling also the truth. They have to be used to not seeing like the moon outside. It's pure black. If I'm hanging outside the window, who would think it's night? If I saw this, I would only think something is blocking the window. The defense so-called forging the night is fundamentally impossible. Alter Lemon often playing games at home and he drank that night. No. It's a more systematic answer that we need to come with. Facing the supermoon that night, he only see a few blurry shapes at most. But how could he mistake a pitch black window for the night? Maybe the witness misremembered it. It could only be the night sky that he saw rather than pitch black. This basically proves that Vincent Lemon's alibi is flawless. Although your idea is interesting, it goes against common sense. Perhaps it should have been like this long ago. we can't overturn this. I'm pretty sure in our deduction. Could my reasoning be wrong? It can't be wrong. You're not stupid, sometimes your mind is too rigid. If you can't figure out the problem, there's no need to stubbornly persist in overthinking it. Yes, it's just solve other elements that will give like information. Logic is unraveled. You need to change your perspective always. Always focusing on details might make you lose sight of the big picture. It's not like why was he not surprised of like seeing pitch dark outside? The question is like, why did Annie see so pitch black outside? To break free from this predicament, the first thing I need to do is to look at from another perspective. Yeah, okay, we have our line of reasoning. The judges had already raised the gavel, do something. Don't worry. It's time to carefully rethink everything that happened so far. Okay, so this is our big deduction phase, no? Yeah, this is the sea of deduction. It's getting close to the truth, but as Stella Ray said, the evidence for this hypothesis lacks a crucial piece. If the reasoning just now is correct, Vincent Lemon used hypnotics to make Arthur Lemon fall asleep, then he quickly adjusted the clock and covered the window. At this moment, he intentionally woke up Arthur Lemon, making him mistakenly believe that it was already 10 p.m. The two watched anime until 2 a.m., but the actual time was still before 6. After that, Vincent Lemon drugged Arthur Lemon again, and he avoided the camera's activation time and lurked outside the village. On the morning after the incident, Vincent Lemon returned to the village after the camera was off and woke up Arthur Lemon. In this way, he managed to evade the camera like a ninja, proving that he was in the village at the time of the incident. Although the shirt with hypnotics can be used as evidence, Prosecutor Reid argued that Nightfall Valley's bright clear skies make it impossible to fake night by simply covering the window. This argument is logical and reasonable, so my entire reasoning encounters a decisive contradiction here. Is Vincent's claim really foolproof? It seems to conflict slightly with the testimony of Annie Lemon earlier. On a clear day with bright moonlight, Wolfgang Caulfield specifically went out to admire the moon, but Annie said she only saw pitch black. Could it be that one of them lied? Nobody was lying. As for the trivial matters, there's no reason for either of them to lie, but why did they see different scenes on the same night? Very good music, by the way. If we can't make a breakthrough at a microscopical level, why not step back at the macro one and organize information about this village? Lemon Village is an isolated village nestled in Nightfall Valley, but what exactly makes this village exceptionally different? The rules. The uniqueness of this village lies in its strict curfew. It is the existence of this rule that has shifted the focus of this case multiple times. If we reverse our thought, not to consider what the curfew changes, but to think the reason that this rule has lasted for hundreds of years is to protect the villagers from harm at night. Exactly, the villagers are simple, and the village chief is an enlightened person. The only reasonable explanation for the curfew is to protect the villagers from harm at night. The villagers must have some traits that we have overlooked, so they require this kind of protection. Let's recall what we've seen and heard since we came to the village. Grandpa says our bloodline has remained pure for hundreds of years, so they have this genetical disease. Thinking carefully, what traits do the people of Lemon Village possess? Pure bloodline, and they marry within. Blindness through inbreeding, I see. I do think it's the case, but it has to be blindness probably only during the night. Or like blindness for like, you know, when it's darker than usual. I don't know if it's like something that is real or not, but I think it's the case. And probably the motive of Vincent is that he really wanted... No, he didn't want to kill. He did not want to kill Elio. I think he just... Oh, maybe he did. I don't know. Probably Vincent is coming back to the village to... Sorry, I'm thinking, that's why I'm silent. Is coming back to the village to like cure this, right? That's why he left his post in Germany. The Lemon village has almost no external population, and women who marry outside the village never return. It keeps their bloodline pure, and all villagers share the same ancestors. The victim brought expensive medicine and sold it to the villager for 100,000 per bottle. Controlling the interconnected bloodlines among the villagers, if this medicine is not just a regular health product, the reason why they need protection, the night demon does exist, and we just haven't been able to uncover its true identity. The key to this case is hidden under the most conspicuous village rule and the most bizarre legend. The final answer is about to emerge. What is the true identity of the night demon? Blindness. Okay, night blindness, I guess. The villager in Lemon Village suffer from night blindness. The pitch black window, the vanished moon, the century-old curfew rule, everything can be explained now. Okay, we are pretty good. I mean, I think this is a pretty straightforward case, but like I'm pretty happy with our deductions, you know. For now, nothing is really surprising. We haven't been on the back foot, you know, as players. The true identity of the night demon is actually a hereditary congenital disease that has been passed down for centuries. All the truths are coming together right now. Dr. Vincent, if I'm correct, this is the counter-argument presented by the prosecution that exposes you. The curfew in Lemon Village was established by their ancestors to protect the villagers from the night demon, but what is the true identity of this night demon? You're not suggesting that there's really a winged serpent in the village, are you? Of course not. The true form of the night demon has always been hidden in the blood flowing through the villagers. It is none other than the congenital night blindness that causes villagers to lose their vision every night. Okay, let me check like night blindness, because this is not a thing, right? Oh, it is. Inability to clearly see in dim light due to deficiency of vitamin A or retinal disorder. Yeah, this is some sort of nyctalopia. Oh, I see. But it only happens in like in like low light situations. Okay, okay. Oh yeah. Like I'm seeing like a picture of like what you would see with like blindness. You see literally nothing. This is purely pitch black. This is crazy. Nyctalopia. Yeah, I thought that it would be like less, you know, that you would see shapes, but it's really like turning down the luminosity like a lot. So yeah, interesting. But I think this game is pretty grounded in like scientific elements from what we've seen. I should not like they are dumping a lot of, you know, scientific elements always. So yeah, surely it was like, you know, oops. It was like a real thing. That's very good, to be honest. Like knowing that it is a real disease, it makes like, yeah, it makes sense. It makes like a lot of sense, and like that it has been used to like fuel, you know, a local village legend. Very, very interesting. Whether my deduction aligns with the fact, just look at the witness's face. In this way, when Arthur Lemon saw as pitch black actually became the appearance of normal night in his eyes, and the only person in the entire village who knows the truth about the curfew and can manipulate it to fabricate an alibi is you, the witness who studied abroad and has sufficient medical knowledge. How dare you! As long as the villagers undergo a physical examination, the truth can be revealed immediately. Oh, she sees the vision now. I never expected that Lemon Village would hide such a secret. Prosecutor Ray, please arrange the physical examination as soon as possible. No need. Oh, she's crazy. I said there's no need. I've known this for a long time. She is absolutely crazy. Wait. If Vincent is also suffering from it, he had the night goggles, right? I don't understand what happened. Why? Who had the knife? So Vincent had... I don't know. I'm missing something. There's like a last twist I can't see. Upon taking on the case, I found the village peculiar and discreetly arranged physical examinations for the villagers. The results shows that all the villagers in Lemon Village, including all the witnesses testifying today, suffer from ZBL type congenital night blindness. Okay, this is a serious game, which is much more severe than common night blindness caused by lack of vitamins. Patients have poor sensitivity to light in dark environments and will totally lose their vision in dark or low light conditions. Why didn't you say it sooner? Your behavior may be suspected of concealing evidence. Why do you think the ancestors of Lemon Village have kept this secret for generations? Oh, she's literally protecting the secret. This evidence has always been the one I least wanted to submit. Please continue to listen to this trial a bit longer and you'll know whether I have violated any rules. She is crazy. She's absolutely based. The prosecutions claim that Alter Lemon, so she solved the case immediately. She solved the case like as soon as like she got like this information, I think. She was just like playing along. The prosecution claimed that Alter Lemon could not perceive the pitch black window as night time. Is no longer valid. The witness fabrication of the alibi has become a fact. Do you have anything else to say? Given the circumstances, the court can only launch an emergency investigation. I never expected to be pushed this far by you. What is done by night appears by day. Dr. Vincent, given the current situation, you better disclose everything you know. I already said everything I should. Trying to convict me seems a bit too hasty. I had an agreement with the prosecutor and I was trying to avoid mentioning it in court, but you blew it. No wonder their attitudes were so subtle just now. Since you've exposed the secret of Lemon Village, you should understand that I could never be the culprit in this case. So it was an accident, right? It was an accident. Was it an accident? Who sent that? That was sent by the... Wait, that was sent by the... So he took that, like, right? We know that he took that from the... But that was sent by the victim. So that was sent to, like, the doctor. Did... Wait. So... On the morning of the 20th... On the morning of the 20th. So during the morning, after curfew, not the night. What? I'm missing something. I'm missing something. Because he died at night. He died during the night. So why on the morning of the 20th? Or maybe like they think that this is still the morning, like it's in the night, but like, you know, a very, very early morning. Was it legitimate defense then? Was Elio trying to kill Vincent because Vincent wanted to cure by himself the blindness? And like Elio thought that he would lose like a lot of money, like an opportunity by doing that, and he wanted to like kill or like, you know, create like an accident with like Vincent might be pushing him, and Vincent fought back, and that's when like Elio fell off. Cure. This is like this is the medication of the... I'm missing something. It's like why was it cut? And what is this white thing also? I'm so close, but I feel like I'm missing something. Do you have anything to say? There's still significant loopholes in the arguments of this bombastic lawyer. This guy still left himself some room. It is necessary to hear the witness's statement. Final testimony, okay. He looks also like the doctor in like literally Ace Attorney 1 case 2. But he is really like, I think he has like genuinely good intentions when the doctors in like Ace Attorney 1, like, you know. You're right, all the villagers suffer from night blindness and the village chief and I are the only ones aware of it. The curfew is likely set by our ancestors to protect the villagers from harm. Concealing this information is to prevent our simple-hearted fellow villagers from panic. As for me, I also have this rare ZBL type congenital night blindness. I'm unable to see anything at night. Then how could I possibly commit a crime outside the village during the night? Thanks to you, the secret is now exposed. Are you happy now? Okay, that's when you use like you were the one using the goggles, right? Prosecutor Ray, if you were already aware of this information, why didn't you present it during the trial? Completely pin down the defendant charges. I have a minimum bottom line in my heart. Yeah, she's like very... She is riding the moral higher ground, I think. And I respect her for that. Her medical history belongs to personal privacy. Managing a village-wide illness demands extra care. The prosecution believes that this court has an obligation to protect this information to the maximum extent. It's indeed inappropriate to disclose such matter in open court. The court won't pursue the matter of the prosecution hiding evidence. I didn't expect Prosecutor Ray to have such a tender side. She has always been tender. There are still many villagers in the audience of this court. Even so, do you still want to continue questioning? The defense is prepared to bear the consequences. Questioning each testimony is the lawyer's right. Okay, so I think we can like break immediately here. Where are the goggles? At this point, stop struggling in vain. You were wearing this broken pair of sunglasses found at the scene, right? Today, Prosecutor Ray has provided us with the identification result. It is a pair of night vision goggles. With it, even you can freely move around at night. You can't just connect the evidence like that. There is no way you're getting away with this trick. Are you suggesting that the village doctor committed a crime wearing night vision goggles? Too many loopholes in this hypothesis. If you think it doesn't hold water, let's settle this with a thorough debate. I certainly won't back down at this stage of the trial. Okay, so we have our rebuttal, whatever. Oh wait, it will like... let me do something. Like, I need to check if the region of my computer is set to yeah, the UK still. Else it won't work. It will be the last confrontation of this trial. I must bring out my best and stay calm.
你刚刚所提出的主张充满了漏洞。
Okay.
检控方绝对不会轻易接受。
很好，那就说出你的观点吧。
你先前一直主张，墨镜的拥有者是死者格林，那他怎么会在查望书手？
We know it's possible nowadays because it comes from the black market.
哪怕你说叶世静是被告带来的，也比他属于查望书更合理。 被告可能是将叶世静
I placed the night vision goggles in the
并在
bag.
打斗过程中掉出，才落下断崖。
The defendant. The translation is really bad here, but
退一步说，就算是查望书将叶世静带到现场，他也不该毫无痕迹。
there shouldn't be no trace on them. Yeah, we had like no fingerprints. Wait. There shouldn't be any trace on them. But there's no trace in here as well. No, there's... Okay, left hand. So you are the dagger from the left hand. I don't see the... Oh, the music is very, very good. There should be no traces in them. I mean, this is the weakest part, right? There shouldn't be no trace on them. I mean, he could have worn gloves, so like, it doesn't really matter, right?
你先前一直主张，墨镜的拥有者是死者格林，那他怎么会在查望书手？
I can't argue with that, to be honest. She's like
哪
sound.
怕你说叶世静是被告带来的，也比他属于查
By
望
the
书
defendant. So I'm trying to say they belong to Dr. Vincent.
被告可能是将叶世静
Action
放在
in the
包里，
bag.
并在打斗过程中掉出，才落下断崖。
Doctor struggled and fell off the cliff.
退一步说，
Even
就
if
算
Dr.
是查望
Vincent
书
brought
将叶世静带到
the
现
scene
场，
out of
他也
scene,
不该毫无痕迹。
there shouldn't be no trace on them. I don't know. I don't know about that. Like, you can wear
尽管
gloves.
村口的监控录像中，被告和死者都没有佩戴手套，
Not the victim wearing
但
gloves.
一直没有
We have no knowledge of what Dr. Vincent exactly, who never appeared on the camera, was wearing.
他大可以一开始就
Prepare glove from the start and clean up all traces.
清理一切痕迹。
Dispose of the night vision goggles after the operation. I'm almost sure he acted as, you
叶
know,
世静最终是和死者一起在
self-defense
山崖
here.
下被发现的。患有夜盲症的查望书，如果扔掉的叶世静，在一片漆黑中怎么还能安然无恙？
Oh, good point. Good point.
对。
Wait.
他为了避开摄像头，已经决定了彻夜不归。
I like to avoid the camera.
他完全可以等到天亮再处理。
Yeah, he could have waited until morning to handle everything. That's kind of like...
而且，就算他失去了夜视镜，只要找个地方静静等候，就算没有视觉又有什么关系？
Yeah, I agree.
就算如你所说，也仍然有一个问题没有被解决。
Okay.
叶世静是格林的
The
所
night
有物，
vision belongs to
他
Mr.
选择这件物
Giordano.
品的理由本身就不明确。
Yeah, okay. Doesn't really lead
既然他
anywhere,
已经
but...
将他带到了查家村，就没有动机将他赠与别人。
Wait! It does belong... She is arguing that it
难
still
道你能拿
belongs
出证
to...
据证实死者将叶世静交给了
Okay,
查
yeah.
望书吗？
Okay. I can.
能够证明死者将夜视镜交给了查望书的
If it belongs to the victim, then it's straightforward
真有这种东西，
because of
那
that.
就拿出来让我看看。
It's like I give you this note and I give you like the goggles as well.
能够证明死者将夜视镜交给查望书的证据，就是看这个，请看这张字条，上面明确写出了。
反对！你傻了吗？警方发现这张
Police
字条
found
的
this
地点
note in the
是在
defendant
被告的
room.
房间，这和这位证人有什么关系？
What does it have to do with the witness?
反对，不，这张字条实际上
So
是
that
死者
was
在生
kind
前
of
留
like
给
similar
查
to
望
what we said like the previous session.
至于他为什么会出现在被告房间，很好解释。案发之后，查望书只要偷偷将字条放进去就可以。
I mean also, yeah, possibly, yeah.
反对！哼，如此信口雌黄，难道你有什么根据吗？
反对。
Oh, you have
不敢这样
something?
说，当然是因为已经找到了根据。
What am I missing? What am I missing? How are you so sure?
看看内容就知道。
Oh yeah, wear this to wrap up your problem.
带上这个解决你的问题，让我们来结束这一切吧。我们来仔细看一看字条里的这个拼音“带
I mean, this is obviously like ”。
字
a
条上的
double
拼音
U,
带
so
想要表示的其实是这个字。看这个
okay, I guess it's better in Chinese, but
是穿戴的带字。
反对！大叔，你凭什么认定这就是带字？携带的带放进去也一样说得通吧？
I mean, again,
这个拼音代表的绝对不会是那个字。死者精通中文口语，却不会写复杂的汉字，
a distinctive Italian flair. Do Italian
也只能用拼音代替。
or writing like this? I'm not sure. I mean, it makes sense to say like, oh yeah, he was like a foreigner and his like Chinese writing was bad. So they tried to do like as best as they could, like for the localization, I guess.
你提到的那个带字，却已经在断崖一带中出现过。
The upper right corner of this, the small hook. Not the W in the note. Yeah, I guess
因
so.
此，他不可能用拼音代替自己明明会写的字，所以字条里所说的，并不是携带某物。而是
Yeah, I guess it's just
穿戴
better
某东
in
西
Chinese.
什么？
That's kind of like my issue, quote unquote, with some localization is just that sometimes there's no good way to translate things. And that's like, I remember like translating for Metante Conan, and sometimes you have like a lot of like codes to solve, and it's just like, you know, puns with kanji and things like that can only be solved in Japanese. And it's like, yeah, in this case, if you do not speak Japanese, you can just like, you know, forget about understanding anything. And the details of the case have become clear in this confrontation. Yeah, pretty good. Okay. What an exciting confrontation. Defense, you proposed the note was about having someone wear something. So what is this thing exactly? Of course, it's the night vision goggles. The victim already knew that Dr. Vincent suffered from night blindness, so he specially prepared a solution. But the defendant has normal eyesight, so there was no reason for the victim to give him the night vision goggles. Trapped. That is to say, the victim knew about the hereditary night blindness of Lemon Village. The witness had already stated that the victim's purpose in coming to Lemon Village was to sell medicine. Although the witness claims that it's just some ineffective nutritional supplements, if I'm not mistaken, it could be a cure for ZBL type night blindness, right? The victim already knew that the villagers were trapped by the darkness at night, so his purpose was to extort. His speculation is baseless and the prosecution cannot accept it. Enough! Yes, it was me. Yes. It was me. I did it. Why are you confessing at this moment? This trial must go on. It cannot end like this. As a village doctor, I've been working hard to research the curse of my hometown. The drug you worked so hard is a cure for night blindness, right? Yes, however, the arrival of that foreigner ruined everything. He offered a price of 100,000 per bottle. This is completely unreasonable and can even be called shameless extortion. My research has also made some progress and I don't need the help of this outsider. But the village chief agreed. He actually never believed that my research would succeed. So that day, I had an argument with that foreigner. A few days later, I received a note with sunglasses attached. For a moment, I thought it would be a good chance to protect the village and get rid of him. Later, as the lawyer said, I used Alter to forge my alibi. I waited in the bushes on the cliffside until midnight, until that foreigner came over. And then From the moment I harbored evil thoughts, I became guilty. I won't plead for myself anymore. I beg your honor to sentence me to... Yeah, this is this kind of, judicial system. Which is also very funny in Ace Attorney that like the death penalty doesn't exist. Only in this way can I be completely relieved. The twists and turns in this case were unexpected. The court cannot allow Dr. Vincent to self-sentence. The police will conduct another investigation and the trial will be scheduled. This case is truly a complete tragedy. Let's hope that similar events never happen again. Up to this point, the truth has been revealed. The defense's performance is commendable. Your compliments are too generous. Let's put an end to this. Like again, why would you... You wouldn't use that, right? Military dagger, left hand, cut, you cut this. Hanging on a branch at the edge of the cliff. How can it be? Wait. Isn't that like... Why would he use that? No, wait. There might be something. There might be something here. Okay, hear me out. Why would you cut... It's stuck on the... hanging on the branch. Okay, the question is how can like this piece of cloth get stuck into like a branch? What if, for example... It doesn't make sense. I was thinking of maybe like, for some reason, like it was an accident and like Elio started to fall. Maybe Vincent tried like to, you know, save him. And Elio was like, no, like just, you know, we have several things like that in Metante Conan, like with Eiji and Kazuha. And you have like this episode where Kazuha is like stabbing Eiji's hand when he's trying, like he's hanging by a branch and he's trying to like save her. And like she is stabbing like Eiji's hand to force him to let him go so that she could fall and he would live. Is that like a sort of similar situation? The court will proceed with the verdict of the defendant. Do you have anything else to say? The prosecution believes that this witness is not the murderer in this case. The evidence chain is clearly incomplete. How can such an ending be accepted? She's true, but like... no argument can change the fact that the witness has confessed. Why is he confessing? You? What are you doing? We're about to get a not guilty verdict. A not guilty verdict is not the ultimate goal we lawyers should pursue. The original intention behind the existence of the law. A perspective of seeking the truth, we haven't clarified one final doubt. This case needs a more reasonable conclusion. Why are you preventing me from delivering the verdict? I was about to announce your victory. The reason is simple, because the defense believes that Dr. Vincent's confession just now is not the whole story of the incident. The defense also asserts that the village doctor Vincent Lemon is not the real culprit in this case. I know, the content of the commission we received was to clear the defendant of suspicion, but making someone else bear an undeserved criminal charge is not an approach that Drake and Thomas, law office, can accept. You keep saying that you killed Mr. Giordano. Can you explain how you caused him to fall off the cliff? I knew you wouldn't be able to answer. One piece of evidence has explained everything. This evidence is enough to prove that Dr. Vincent is not the murderer. I don't exactly understand what they want to go for. It has to be that. Like, he would cut the... I don't know what happened. They will explain, probably. For me, this is a situation where maybe the two of them fell, and like... the doctor, like, just... I don't know, part of his jacket was, like, caught, like, in the cliff or whatever. And, like, maybe Elio just cut that with his left hand. We don't know if he was left-handed or whatever. Cut that to fall to his death? But like, why would that be broken as well? Do you remember why this piece of cloth was left at the scene? Because it was cut by a sharp object and then hung on the bushes. However, if Dr. Vincent was the assailant, why would his own clothes be cut? Oh no, okay, so they are going for like self-defense. So they're just going for self-defense, I guess. We've been so focused on the real killer of Mr. Giordano that we overlooked why he wanted to meet the witness in the first place. Okay, so that we went back like to the previous like assumption that we had like earlier in the trial. The prosecution also urges you to re-examine the entire process of the incident. The victim left a note inviting the witness to the cliff. Not only did he choose midnight, but he also took a dagger with him. In this way, his intention to invite Dr. Vincent to the cliff was obvious. That's right, the person originally planning to commit the crime at the cliff was the victim. Dr. Vincent, I don't know why you would burden yourself with the charge of murder. However, there is no trace of confrontation with you on the clothing of the victim. I'm afraid that after Mr. Giordano ran at you with a knife, you managed to evade and he fell off the cliff himself, right? Oh, okay, makes sense, okay. That's how it happened. Why didn't you say it earlier? Never mind. In any case, the intent to kill did arise in my heart, making me a guilty person. It doesn't work like that. You're innocent and you're like... We all have like thoughts that can be dark. But what makes us human and like better persons is our ability to not act on them. to refuse them, to say that this is wrong and we should not like commit, what we're thinking about. All I thought about was how to kill him and end it all. However, when I wore the night vision goggles, for the first time I saw the beautiful night scenery of Nightfall Valley. Oh, this is nice. It suddenly struck me. I was trying to rescue the villagers from the darkness, enabling them to enjoy the evening under moonlight. If I take a life with such dirty means, how can I consider myself a doctor and continue to save lives? So I completely dispelled the thought of murder and planned to reconcile with that foreigner. But man proposes, God disposes. You always ruin my plan. Please calm down. We can talk about the cure. What's there to talk about? If it weren't for you, I'd have had the money by now. Go to hell. Okay. I see. Okay, it makes sense. I dodged out of my instinct, but I didn't expect him to. Even though I didn't kill him by my own hands, he still died because of me. This is what I get, my retribution for killing thoughts. Dr. Vincent, you're wrong. In the courtroom, there is no such thing as karmic retribution. Besides, he didn't die because of you. It was his own fault. If the witness's account is true, even if he did push the victim off the cliff, there's a high probability of being considered a justifiable defense. If you simply dodged the attack, this incident would likely be categorized as accidental death.
法律并不是惩戒恶徒的冰冷条文，对于像你这样心存善念的人，他同样会予以回报。
查医生，你最热爱的村民们还在等着你去挽救呢。只为了你自己的执念，就去承担这个莫须有的罪名，真的好吗？我先把丑话说在前头，你的死罪可免，活罪却难。
You can get away with death, but the punishment for your wrongdoing is hard to escape.
把死者的字条塞进被告房间，可是有诬告构陷罪的嫌疑。
False accusation and framing. She's true.
怎么这样？如果他被判了刑，不就没法继续研究了？
Let me think.
把字条塞进被告的房间，雷姐，这话可不能乱说。你有证据吗？
He's crazy. He's just bullshitting his way through.
你搞什么？这可是之前你自己说的。龙叔，你傻了吗？那个字条当然是查望书塞进去的吧。
Okay, so he is going like for the Confucius thingy.
喂，小子，这个医生的为人，你觉得怎么样？
啥？问我？这还用说？放弃荣华富贵，以一己之力挑起这么重的任务，被指出错误，还敢于承担。哦，这正是孤高之狼的品质啊！
那你觉得这样的人，应该被关进监狱吗？
当然不该了。我要是在这儿说了算的话，连奖励他还都来不及呢。
这样就好。那么，麻烦你给大家解释解释，这个字条。
这个字条，对啊，
啊，对，
我想起来了，这是老子上月回来的时候在地上捡的。你这医生，平时脑子不是挺好使的，怎么把这么重要的东西到处乱丢啊？
什么？
你何出此言？明明是……哎呀，行了，别说了。你要是条真汉子，就赶紧把谣言发出来。
This is nice. This is kind of like what is lacking from Ace Attorney, I think. It's that this particular discourse, this particular idea that like life is continuing afterwards. I'm waiting to take Annie to admire the moon. You hear me?
我明白了，律师先生，田兄弟。 此地、此时、此刻，今日所有之事，我定会铭记在心。
Very good. Very, very good. For a second case, this is very good. I think like all the deduction chain was kind of like straightforward, but it works. Like in terms of like narrative intent, it works very well. The case can't even consider the murder case. This court must give the defendant a fair outcome. We'll announce a verdict for the defendant Wolfgang Kohlefield. Non-guilty. We did it! What a case! I initially thought it was a case we could easily win, but who knew there would be so many twists? There were times when I thought you were about to lose to Cis. Well, to tell you the truth, I feel the same way. I'm going to talk to her for a bit, catch up with you later. Winning might be more terrifying. I would be punched into a wall by her. You're here. Once the formalities are done, you can go home, right? Absolutely. You were impressive today. Thank you so much. No problem. I'm glad you're okay. You not only saved my life, but also cleverly cleared the doctor of the crime. It's so touching. If you need me in the future, please don't hesitate to ask. He's kind of like, I can't remember his name in English. But defendant is Ace Attorney Case 3. Maybe I should ask him to be my bodyguard to shield me from Prosecutor Ray's fists. But then again, I did not expect that this night demon turned out to be night blindness. Yeah, I only realized it in court, and what you said during the recess gave me some inspiration. And I'm truly honored. But you know, now that the villagers know the truth, I wonder how life will change for them. I'm going to see Annie. See you later. Still posing. You are really cool. I knew you could turn the tide. You must sign my spiky head sky-pointing poster later. Ace Attorney. All about the revelations in today's court. Oh, you mean the night blindness? I was surprised at first, but it doesn't seem to make a big difference, right? Just need to avoid going out at night like before. Just another reason to stay home. By the way, the Verity lens you lent me did play an effective role in this case. I should thank you for that. Now that the case is closed, it's time to return it to its owner. When did I say I lend it to you? It's useless for me anyway, so keep it. Is that really okay? Well, what's wrong with it? Our village has overcome this crisis, and you play a crucial role, bro. Consider it a token of gratitude. While a lie detector may be useful in future cases, I graciously accept. If you ever become a big shot, remember to add this lens to your bronze statue. And by the way, Dr. Vincent is going to the police for investigation. I better go check on him first. If all goes well, Dr. Vincent should be free in a few days. Annie, Mr. Lawyer, you really kept your promise and rescued Wolfgang. Not at all. Towards the end, I realized that everyone is indeed good, especially Dr. Vincent. I'm really relieved he's safe. While good deeds bring good rewards, I believe the night demon lurking in your village will be eliminated by him one day. Well, even though I didn't quite understand things like night blindness. But I've learned a lot because of the case. I've heard things from tourists before, but seeing it with my own eyes, I realized there's such a vast world outside the village, with so many interesting people and things. So I made a decision. I plan to leave the village in a few days and travel with Wolfgang for a while. I remember you grew up in Nightfall Valley since childhood. That's quite a feat. Such a companion, at least safety wouldn't be a concern. I hope to leave a lot of good memories during the journey. Maybe one day I'll go visit Mr. Lawyer and Luna Chatier. Luna Chatier, plutôt. By then, I will definitely brew the best lemon tea for you. That's certainly welcome, but during your journey, remember to stay safe at night. Okay, I will keep that in mind. I'll go back to the village with them now. Goodbye, Mr. Lawyer. Bon voyage. Did I miss something? I heard Annie is coming to visit us. You got good ears. Send her a copy of the office address. By the way, where's your sister? She seems to be in a bad mood right now. Well, considering the case ended with her losing, it's no wonder she's upset. That's right. Right now, I really want to punch you into the wall. Oh, she could punch me into the wall, I think. When did she come in? It pisses me off when I see your scruffy face. You know, you always resort to underhanded methods. Do you really think I can't see the obvious complicity and lies of you and your client? I know I can't deceive you, but Prosecutor Ray, you wouldn't want the village doctor to end up in prison, right? I just dislike your arrogant attitude. Just because the village doctor is a good person, does that give you the right to manipulate facts and exonerate him? Don't make me laugh. We're just agents serving the law. Whether good or evil, we have no right to judge. The only thing that can speak in court is the truth. We present all the facts in detail. Whether the defendant is guilty or not is left to the entire judicial system, not an individual to judge. Only then can you win with understanding or lose with clarity. If you continue to act like you did today, if one day you encounter someone clearly engaged in wrongdoing but wrongly accused in a specific case, would you frame him on purpose? I get your point, but if such a day ever comes, well, we may as well wait and see. You're lucky this time, and I'll let it slide. But if you dare to teach my sister anything weird, then the next time we meet in court, be prepared for consequences. Are you okay? I'm fine. Luckily your sister didn't tear my arm off. That's a relief. But I vaguely feel that Prosecutor Ray, despite her harsh words, isn't as concerned about winning as I imagined. Winning this time is a cause for celebration. After running around in the valley, I felt like all my hair is full of scent. The otaku guy suggested some new apps just then. I'm going to appoint an on-site beauty therapist for the office. Doesn't sound like the kind of service a law office needs. It seems they are running a promotion offering free shaving package recently. Take this opportunity to clear the stubble off your face, Chief. The stubble is my trademark. So this murder case came to a close in a peaceful atmosphere. I thought this was just a small episode in my long career as a lawyer. What caught me off guard was that Lemon Village, this rarely visited small village, would become the starting point of a series of grand and tumultuous events in the near future. Interesting. Who could have imagined that a grand conspiracy had already sowed its seeds at this moment? Whether it was the tragic incident 5 years ago or the massive organization that had been coveting, it all ultimately connected to this small mountain village. Interesting. Okay, I'm kind of interested now. Looking back, perhaps from the moment Luna and I stepped through the village gate, all the tragedies began to unfold. Very mysterious. Let's go back to the title. Clockwork Citadel and Thunderstruck Rock. New characters, by the way. Okay. It's funny because like those... No, they're different. I'm crazy. Very interesting. Okay, that will be for next week, I think. Next week we'll have probably 2 streams of Trials of Innocence. Because I really want to continue playing the game. It was good. For a second case, very good. Very reminiscent to the case 2 of Ace Attorney 1 in some aspect, like the idea of like not being able to leave or not being able to enter somewhere. And kind of like I won't say too much because like if you haven't played like Ace Attorney 1, you should. But yeah, very similar. And kind of like the weak part of the second case is that it's unrelated like to the grain thing. I think when Ace Attorney started to have like a running theme for the entire game, like an overarching mystery, it worked very well. I think that's what worked very well in Investigation 2, and The Great Ace Attorney, but like as, you know, a 10 case like mystery. And that the game is kind of trying to do something similar, very good, because it uses a, you know, simple case as like a setup, and we'll get into like the thick of it afterwards. So yeah, very, very interesting. I really liked the ending with this idea of like what justice is, and making it like a more sentimental, a more like vulnerable ending. It's not like, oh, like I'm the culprit, I'm like just evil, I wanted money, I wanted to kill for fun. It's just that, no, I wanted to kill, but I did not, and it was just an accident. Very, very good. I would say there's a pretty good use of the clues in general. It lacked a little bit of polish, I would say, just a little bit of polish, but it is Ace Attorney level worthy in terms of like cluing, in terms of like progression. I really, really like it. I think it's just also like, obviously it's a smaller game, it's at a smaller studio, so like maybe some budget, maybe like, you know, like the police and the font in the localization, it's not the best one. There are some parts that are a bit rough for reasons, be it like the base game or be it like the localization. But if it had like a remastered version at some point with, you know, a very clean finish, like Ace Attorney level, like it would be very, very good. But I'm enjoying the game like a lot. So I'm really eager to continue playing on that. I can see like interesting characters here already. With like probably this conflict between like science and, again, superstition or like martial art world, you know, folklore. So very eager to play the game next week. I'm guessing I kind of want to play it like 2 sessions because I want to make good strides in like chapter 3, but we'll see like how much we play. There won't be Ace Attorney next week for sure, that's for sure, because I kind of want to fit something else in the planning. Maybe Marvelous, maybe something else, we'll see. But yeah, that is all for this week. I hope that you enjoyed yourself, that you enjoyed Case 2. I think it was good, it was very good. Very interesting cluing that I should have seen like beforehand, to be honest. And yeah, have a wonderful evening, and I'll see you next week. Bye bye. The sound is cutting because I'm going to OBS. Okay, bye bye.